Hello, welcome to Monday Night Bloodbath, episode 15. Shut the fuck up, Shock. Jesus.
I love the intro.
Yeah, I called an audible on that. I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So I went with the Batman. I went with the Batman Bloodbath Donald Trump. I need to fix it, but
Gonna be a bloodbath.
I probably won't.
The TikToker Donald Trump.
Oh fuck me.
Yes, the TikToker Donald Trump.
What are you doing?
I'm huge on TikTok.
I'm huge.
Actually, he is huge. He's gonna have like 10 million fucking viewers by the end of the month. Like holy, or something.
Yeah, he could.
Like it's insane.
So, yes, episode 15, where we're going to go over the Trump stuff. If you watched Weekend pregame last Thursday, we went over it a lot, but we're going to go over it a little bit tonight. It is kind of old news now. But we're also going to talk about kind of like the justice system seems like it's failing. And I'm going to walk us through a couple other stories before we go into a conversation that has been a kind of big conversation over the week with some friends about what we need to do as Americans to fight for our country that seems to be being taken over and corrupted, and the American meaning, the American dream fading away because of the corruption and the retards running the country.
That's the damn globalists.
So, and then maybe we'll get into some of the Fauci stuff. I hope if we got time, I'd love to get into some of the Fauci stuff that came out today because fuck that guy.
Dude, fuck him. Dr. Fucci.
Our Lord and personal savior, Dr. Fauci.
So, we got two guests tonight. An old friend returning back to my channel after a long time. Acid, how you doing tonight?
How you doing? I'm doing good. Working
Working good.
Yeah.
No more school, huh?
One more semester. That's it. But
One more
this summer, I'm
nice.
working for
Nice.
veterans right now. Working for a resource agent. So that's about all I've been doing. Is just working with veterans, all heavily smoking veterans. I guess that's the best word for it.
Nice.
Savage, do you have a VPN on or something? Because you have about a half a second delay between your video and audio.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was bad.
I don't have a
Oof.
VPN on. Why do I have a delay?
Oh, wait, maybe did it fix itself?
I don't. To me, at least.
There you
It
go.
looks,
You're-
it-
you're
okay, it
back.
Fine.
looks like it stopped.
Let me check. Hold on. I know the problem.
So, how are you doing, Savage? You're one of the people that I've been talking with, talking this subject about. Jack Tarlat has had a lot to say. A lot of this has been going on in Devil's Wrong Think Twitter DM room, and I put out the invite. I meant to invite Gal, but she seemed like she might not be able to make it, and I forgot to send her the link, so she's out there. Sorry, but also I didn't want to make her
Hi,
do
Gal.
something like she had shit going on, and I didn't want to like make her feel like she
she's got
was.
stuff going on. I don't worry about it too much.
Yeah, I didn't want to make her feel like she needed to be here. And we've got Shaka Zulu, who is a cat dog.
Yes.
Usually,
And a Trump cultist as well.
At least he's not a Bernie cow right now.
Oh, I like the cow part and the Nico and the people who like Bernie, but I don't like Bernie. Oh, dude, actually, remember when I was joking? If I had a wish, I would have Nicolo deported to my basement. Looks like Mexico's actually deporting American citizens.
God,
I have that in my bookmark somewhere where
Yeah, that was
they're like
great.
at the airport going through the freaking thing. I haven't seen anything about that except for that one tweet with that one video, so I don't know what's going on, but
that's
I will
an
keep my
interesting
eye
thought.
out for that because that would be fucking hilarious.
What's even more hilarious is like some progressives left the country not when Trump was elected, but when Biden got elected. That's when they left.
About a year and a half ago,
I wanted to keep that money.
I was thinking about maybe moving to Mexico for a little while.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
It's like
There's ways to do it.
I've got the job where I could do that.
Good mom.
I've got the job where I can work anywhere in the world. Like it'd be cheap as fuck.
Oh yeah, it's nice in Mexico, dude. It's just hard to work.
I need Biden back in office. I don't give a shit. I need student loan forgiveness.
So
I-
you haven't benefited from any of that. Consider
Not yet. Give me another.
And that's,
I
and
got
that's
another
probably because
year
you're
grace.
still in school.
Yeah, I need him in office right at the end.
So
Oh god, yeah.
I just
Well,
want to
there's a
say that I
promise.
paid off my 10K in student loans 3 or 4 years ago, and actually no, it's probably closer to 6 or 7.
That's all you
And
got
you can
is
all
10K?
suck my
How
butt.
much is that?
I'm not even close with my
What year
40K.
was this?
So
What year was the loans given?
What year was the loans given? The loans were given in
Because even just like 2015
13,
inflation.
14, 15, maybe 13, maybe 14, 15, 16.
Oh, that's dude. Even like 2015 student loans got it. Like with inflation, got to be insane.
Duke
Like,
Double.
I have some
Duke
from
Double has been in
Oh,
like that.
I paid the living hell off of my loans.
Mm-hmm.
I,
Duke Double's been like what? He went to the University of Duke, so like he's still probably paying off. He's like what, 60?
After I finished school,
Yeah.
almost every 18 months I doubled my salary for like the first 4 years, five years.
Jeez.
And
nice.
so I just murdered my student loans.
Damn.
Anyways, so let's bring up. I brought up this tweet from Greg Price here because he's got a pretty good recap on the Trump trial of things that took place. It's just a big wall of text. I apologize for nothing too exciting to look at, but he's got a good breakdown. So just a quick recap of Juan Merchan, Alvin Bragg show trial
Fat
in New York
fuck.
City. What was that?
Fat fuck.
Fat foot?
Fat fuck. The Alvin Bragg guy. Isn't that the
Oh,
fat
is he
dude?
fat? I don't think he's fat.
He's fat.
He might be chubby.
You never see him when he was doing the interview thing?
Go find me a pic.
I'm fat.
Bro, he talks like a fucking moron too.
Well, that doesn't
Alright.
mean he's fat. He can sound like a retard and not be fat.
Well, when you're both, okay.
Okay.
When you're
all right.
fat and retarded. Look at this fucking piece of shit. You didn't see his interview where he was talking
Oh, you
about.
know what? I was
Yeah.
thinking of the mayor.
Oh no, that's the guy
Yeah.
where he was all like, yeah, like justice was swift and it served. God damn it, that's all we
This
know.
is the
That's
guy
one
that-
thing we know for sure is that the
Right,
justice
yeah.
has been served.
You know what
This
he
is the
looks
guy
like?
that
He
ran on the
actually,
platform.
are we sure this
God.
isn't actually current date picture of Defiant Brooklyn Dad?
Oh,
He
God.
looked because he did gain a lot of weight after he stopped selling his kids' toys to buy crack, right?
Fat people are either the biggest pieces of shit or the most coolest cat in the room. All right, because there's a lot of big guys that got the sexy little Latino wives, and they're like, "Yo, I don't have to lift a muscle because everyone does my shit for me because I'm such a baller." And then there's people like him.
This is the corrupt piece of shit that literally ran on the platform of "I'm going to indict Trump," right? That was his
Yep.
whole.
Yeah, and actually,
Yeah.
so
Campaign
we're going to talk about him. So let's bring this back up here. Let's get rid of that. So the Soros-funded DA, Alvin Bragg, elevated a misdemeanor to a felony despite lowering it 60% of all felonies for actual criminals in his jurisdiction. The lead prosecutor resigned his position as the third highest ranking member of Biden's DOJ to join Alvin Bragg's team going after Trump. The judge donated to Joe Biden and has a daughter who raised millions of dollars for Democrats off of the Trump prosecutions. She had her clients going into the trial, and they were able to watch and whatnot. The other lead prosecutor also donated to Biden. The lead witness that the whole case relies on is a convicted perjurer, which Well, actually, yeah. So he's a convicted perjurer and serial liar who admitted during the trial to stealing money from the Trump Organization. The judge put a gag order on Donald Trump for pointing out the political conflict of interest of the people prosecuting him. Just talk about like the easiest way to make sure that the obvious doesn't get pointed out. Like, the crime relies on the idea that Trump paid off Stormy Daniels to conceal another crime, which is not mentioned in the indictment. What is the other crime? You see, we'll get to that. The judge barred Trump's defense from explaining to the jury that no campaign finance violation occurred, but allowed prosecutors to assert as a fact in the closing that there was. So, and that's not there's another example of that hypocrisy that happened in this case, where like the Trump's team wasn't allowed to use a certain piece of evidence that proved his innocence, but yet the defense was allowed to use another piece. That's
Well, he also had his lawyer. He had a lawyer who was a campaign specialist to testify, and they said no. Like, you cannot use your witness to, or your what's the word again? Expert. You can't use your expert to testify, but prosecutors can. Like, that's insane.
I believe that would be this next point, where the judge barred a former FEC commissioner from testifying that Trump did nothing wrong.
Yep.
Hello to Paul, and hey, Jack, we see you in there.
What's up, Paul? What's up, Jack?
So the judge allowing the jury to not have to reach a unanimous verdict on any underlying unnamed crime Trump committed. This is insane.
Well, that's how Alvin.
This should just get this thrown out right away.
Yeah, well, that's how Alvin Bragg's like characterizes it. It's like, what did we? How was justice served today? What was he found guilty of? Like 34 accounts of election conspiracy, and it's just like, you didn't prove anything. 30 random accounts of untrustworthy documents being misfiled, right, for a election conspiracy. But then you have CNN, who runs the headlines, hush money trial. So which fucking is it? Is it conspiracy, which you haven't proved what conspiracy has actually been done, and then this is still being labeled the hush money trial case?
Yeah,
He has no way of appealing this to. I've seen they've been pointing out who the like the next up is. There's a whole bunch of black women, and they're saying there's no way in hell he's gonna get it. Win the appeal.
I ain't giving you no appeal.
Yeah, because now we don't have Brad here, but I believe that they could just reject it, and it stops there.
Yep.
You can't go beyond that.
We can't go to the Supreme Court with it.
It's not. So it's a federal crime, but it's not being tried as a federal crime.
It's a state that says, "Hey,
What
we
about
want to
state
give our
Supreme
two."
Court?
So that's the thing. So okay, let's just go ahead and go right into this video. You guys see the Michael Knowles Pierce Morgan thing?
No,
Oh, have I got a
not.
treat for you?
I've ignored the Daily Wire.
I haven't paid attention. Yeah, I was going to say I haven't
So
paid
this
I
is
hate
Pierce
them.
Morgan's show,
2022.
and it's not so much Michael Knowles.
Oh,
Michael
this
Knowles
is a
just
decent
here.
panel right here, actually.
So
Okay.
it's not necessarily Michael Knowles, but he is here, and so I'll let this play out, and we're gonna let this woman explain the crime that Trump committed.
Of course, she's from San Francisco.
My fellow panelist here is celebrating that the rule of law has been vindicated and overturned 234 years of American legal tradition. I would challenge her to see if she could possibly articulate how and what crime Trump committed, because so far Alvin Bragg, the DA, has failed to do so. The judge in the case, Judge Merchan, has failed to do so. And they can't do it because Trump didn't commit any of the crimes for which he's been convicted.
Well, let's just ask quickly before I go to Kevin. Francesca, just on that point, what crime did Trump commit?
It was financial crimes. It was white collar crimes. That is exactly
Which
what
one,
they
though?
charged him. He was convicted on.
What was the crime?
It's New York State law.
No, I understand.
She has no idea.
Well, yeah, holy shit.
This woman has enough
Run the
cred
ball.
to show up on Pierce Morgan and not be able to articulate
Yep.
which she's so fucking happy about.
Oh yeah.
So many of them are like that.
It's the
though.
law, Pierre. It's American
None
law.
of them
She
can
broke
explain
it.
You just want to masturbate over the idea that, oh, we finally got him. You didn't get shit because you're literally doing
Cheated.
nothing
You
to stop
fucking. You had to tie his
made
hands
him
behind
bigger.
his back.
You
Well, that's what I
literally
was,
married him.
That's what I was telling Static on pregame. I got like friends and family IRL who are like, so like, what did he like? Oh, sorry about your president, bro. Like he's like he
So
got
weird.
34 crimes, bro. Like what were the crimes? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't- And then they're like, well, like I don't like him either, but I would like for there to be an actual crime that he broke. I know he's in it. I know he's guilty. I know he's a piece of shit. I would like to know why he's a piece of shit. Like the people who even don't like Trump are
Why is
unsolvable.
he officially finally a piece of shit?
Yeah, like I'm
What do we
waiting for
actually
the
get to
answer.
say that he did. Like
But they
seriously, ask
can't.
anybody gleeful about it. What did he do? What did he like? What does he actually getting? What will he be arraigned on? Like, what is this going to look like during sentencing? Like, what do you? What do
I
you
have no
even-
idea
you-
what the bail's going to
it's
be.
such
Is he
a
going to pay
fucking
bail?
giant
Is there
mess.
bail? I
So
don't know.
let's keep this playing because Knowles does say something interesting that caught my ear, and it kind of goes back to what we were talking about just a couple minutes ago.
What was the crime?
It is new.
Francesca.
I don't even like it. It is
Well, hang on,
literally
hang on.
just got convicted on 34 counts.
Francesca, what was the crime?
34!
Like, the actual books.
What was the crime?
You are not allowed. So you are not allowed to use your own financial, like your own money, to pay off somebody, and then he logged it as something different. He logged.
That's not at all what happened.
No, not even close.
Not even
His
close.
jackass
even
lawyer
know.
said,
She
that'll
doesn't
be
even
$8
fucking
million
know.
in lawyer fees, please. And he's like, all right, here you go. I paid
Yep.
the check. Oh, and then he paid the whore 20% of what he asked for. That's the fucking theft right there.
It had to be Stormy Daniels out of all people.
An
Ugh.
old Stormy.
Who
Yeah,
the fuck
Jesus.
is the NAS in the bottom right?
He's taken. Sorry.
What's a NAS or NAS?
Nasty.
Is this
I have no
something
idea.
gay?
Yeah.
Probably. Urban
So-
Gay. Why is
Okay.
Steve gay?
He wrote mean tweets. That's what he did.
Yeah. Guilty.
logged it as just a regular payment, but he was actually paying off this porn star to keep quiet, which, if he hadn't been running for president, would not have mattered, but he was, and so it impacted campaign finance laws in New York State. Okay, that is what Juan Merchan just oversaw this. Alvin Bragg
See, look at Noel's face. He's like, campaign finance laws.
brought
Okay.
these charges
That's-
because
that's
Michael
not-
Cohen,
that's
his
not quite
fixer,
what
was
happened.
already
Okay,
sentenced
okay.
to 3 years to do
Okay,
it.
let's just go before Kevin. I'll be very, very, very patient. I will come to you.
Look, I'm no expert. Let me just say, hang on,
No, no,
Michael.
Francesca.
You are no
Michael,
expert.
by the
That's
way.
right. Because the
Francesca-
campaign finance law is a
wait,
federal
wait.
law.
Hang on.
Campaigns finance laws are federal laws.
Yep.
And that's
They do
why
not want this going on in a federal court because he'll take it to the Supreme Court and he'll fucking win and it'll be done and over with.
so the Supreme Court can go in and step in when they see something that looks egregious like this.
Yeah.
I don't know what the rules are for that, but I know that there's a reason why.
There's a lot of shit that the federal government's supposed to step in when something's out of whack. They never do it.
No, they only step in when they want to control a scenario. and
Trump's
make
gonna
things
fire
work.
them. Why would they? Why would they intervene?
Well, he literally can't fire the Supreme
Well, I know
Court.
he's not going, but like,
Nope.
where would he?
Oh man.
He'd have to have a supermajority in Congress to begin impeaching them. That's the way he could do it. But
So anyway, the point of this, so we're just going over. No one really knows why Trump is been convicted. We have no real idea what Trump has been convicted of. His lawyer gave Stormy Daniels a bunch of money and then went and collected and then got paid back for that from
Legal
Trump.
expenses.
And this is and his lawyer went and took out another mortgage on his house in order to give this money to Stormy Daniels, which is something Trump never asked for any of this to happen. You know, I hate to get into the details of what's actually happening here, but we do have a bigger topic to get to. And before I do, so the topic is the justice system is kind of fucked, right? It's very political.
It's been failing us for some time.
It's-
What happened to Trump isn't the beginning of it. It's part of the culmination of what it now is.
and a lot of that also comes into the whole court of public opinion thing. A lot of that gets pulled into this. And with the court of public opinion, with that becoming such a big thing with social media and stuff, I also think the key point of justice in this country is innocent until proven guilty has been lost.
No, that line
Yeah.
was crossed
Yeah.
with George Floyd and what was the cop's name again?
Chauvin.
Derek Chauvin is where that line was crossed, where public opinion, social media
Same with-
opinion trumped innocent until proven guilty, even
Same
though he
with
was found
Kyle
innocent in
Rittenhouse.
trial.
Kyle Rittenhouse got completely
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
lucky that he had the jury he did, because the public has, and these fucking whack jobs that still exist out there still do believe he's guilty, irregardless of the justice system.
Oh yeah.
Kyle Rittenhouse might go down as the last major case that we see where we see an outcome that is innocent until proven guilty, and somebody where the court of public opinion hasn't already tried them.
That was a big 2A
He
case.
may be the last one.
That was a big 2A case.
That was huge.
So,
Yep. Huge.
now the goal of the conversation is we're eventually going to get to the point where what should we as Americans be doing to protect the Constitution and these sorts of things. But before we get into that, I wanted to bring a couple more examples of how the justice system is going. Now, I've got this woman here, Joey Lynn Masaros, and I'm gonna play her video of what she's going through in the legal system right now. And it's not just her; it's her husband and all these other people who were with her, I believe.
My name is Joey Lynn Masaros. I'm a stay-at-home mom in New Braunfels, Texas. My husband Robert is a plumber. Just like many Americans, we enjoy exercising.
I wish she wouldn't have put the music. I get it though; she's trying to raise money, but
Mhm.
yeah, the music doesn't help.
No.
Play, bitch.
Our constitutional rights, especially our First Amendment right to exercise free speech. You might remember in 2020 during early election when the Biden-Harris campaign bus drove through New Braunfels, Texas. There was a viral video of a Trump train driving alongside of them, and we were proud to show our support for President Trump. 8 months later, we found out that we were getting sued in federal court under the Ku Klux Klan law of 1871. Triggered Democrat politicians, Biden-Harris campaign staff, and members of the White House cabinet were on the bus and are claiming they're traumatized from our presence next to them and suing us for emotional compensation. They claim we premeditated assault with a plan to ambush the bus and run it off the road, but that never happened. These malicious and frivolous lies are costing our family hundreds of thousands.
I don't know if you guys remember when this happened, but the media started running that they were trying to run these people off the road when this happened. Hello?
They made it look like it. They did. They tried to make it look like it.
Yeah, the media ran stories that tried to make it look like it in text. They didn't have like any sort of like videos or anything. They just tried to write stories to make it look like this was the goal of these people. I'll just remind everyone. Last Thursday, when Trump was convicted, no burnings were burnt down
Yep.
in
Buildings.
Trump's name. No one
Wow.
looted a Foot Locker.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm very upset. I needed a new CPU.
Oh, that's right. You were saying you needed a new
I would have
shoes.
looted a micro center if there was one here, but there.
I think a liberal did light himself on fire one time.
That was during the trial.
It was
The
during
only
the
thing-
trial.
And I don't think I would call him a liberal. I think I would call him a lost soul.
The only thing
Yeah.
I see when Trump was convicted was like multiple videos of like that family that was writing all his guilty convictions right by Trump Towers on chalk, right by his,
yeah.
yeah, and several other people just like cheering all over the place. How a great day, podcasters
Oh,
like
God.
Titus, Christopher Titus. He's like, finally he's a felon, and
all the
Can't
very
vote.
All
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
honey, get your boyfriend. They finally got him, people.
yeah, dude, the
Yeah,
very single
exactly.
auntie doing the TikTok dances over that was so cringe. There were so many old
I didn't
ladies.
see no TikTok dance. Oh well, I guess those two. Do you guys know who mindless self-indulgence is?
Mm-mm.
So those two dudes, Henry Sisson, whatever,
Harry Sesson.
and the
Oh,
other
those
kid that
two gay
they
guys.
did the dancing thing. MSI has this song where I was trying to do this, but the bit was just too short for their little fucking dance. But MSI has this song where they repeat the bundle of sticks word 3 or 4 times in quick repetition, and I wanted to put that music over their little dance party. I thought that would have been great. So let's see what else she's got to say.
Of dollars in the federal court system.
Well, no, we don't need to watch the rest of this. So pretty much what this comes down to, they were doing a rally, they were doing the Trump train thing with everyone's got their big fucking trucks and their giant Trump flags and all that, and they're just driving around next to the Biden campaign bus, which shockingly it was even on the road, right? And so now they're being sued by I don't know if it's just every individual of the Biden campaign or if it's the actual Biden campaign.
I don't know how that works.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. Go get
I
your
didn't-
hat, Savage Dad.
But they're playing the videos though. They're showing these big massive trucks, right beside the bus, and behind it, like they're surrounding it, and it makes it sound like they're threatening with all their flags in the back, trying to intimidate is what it looked like, and that's what they're trying to make it look like. It was intimidation.
They didn't do anything. They were there. Like there was nothing.
It doesn't matter. It makes it look like intimidation, and that's all they need. It's
They
the
felt
court system now.
intimidated.
The court system now, like you're saying, the court system makes it look like it's intimidation, a threatening.
Okay, you are absolutely right. Sorry, when discussing these kinds of things, I have to take a part of my brain out so I can properly look at it in a way, because I have to look at it from their perspective. You're absolutely right, and yeah, all they have to do is say, "Hey, this is what it looks like, and this is how we felt."
Yep.
That's all it takes now. That's all it takes.
For emotional damage.
Well, it's affiliations or hate speech. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's projection as well. Usually, whatever they project on to their political opponent is the shit that they're doing.
If this was in Canada, they'd be in prison because
Often not.
that's
Probably
the
right.
new law there.
Oh,
Yeah, they'd
yeah.
already be arrested. Their bank accounts would be seized.
Oh, well, that's really
Would be gone already.
So I've got one last bit, and this came out today. What judge said to elderly pro-lifer she's sentenced to 2 years for praying outside abortion clinic is vile.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Twitchy. They pretty much just paste together a story from a bunch of tweets. So guess Paulette Harlow should have just blocked traffic in the name of Palestine or something. This is just awful. So we got this Joel Berry guy who is covering this trial. It's most of his tweets in this story here. A DC judge has sentenced 75-year-old Paulette Harlow, who is in poor health, to 2 years in prison for praying outside an abortion clinic. Her husband fears she might die there. The sentencing was passed by Judge Kohler Cotelli after Harlow's husband begged for mercy, expressing his fear that his wife would die alone in prison. The judge taunted that maybe Harlow would make an effort to remain alive because that is a tenet of Harlow's religion. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Is staying alive, I know you don't want to kill yourself and stuff in Christianity, but is staying alive a tenet in Christianity? Shit happens.
I hope they fucking appeal this. God damn, what a
Sorry.
Was
Wait.
she blocking an entranceway or
So
something?
we're getting there.
Okay, sorry, just asking. Damn.
So here's a video from the protest. We won't watch this whole thing, but if this looks like they're actually inside the abortion
In
clinic,
particular, Lord, we beg
Ran real loud. This abortion clinic looks like a living room.
Yeah, it does.
Inspire these parents to keep their babies, and for those who are brutally aborted, we beg you to have mercy on them and bring them straight to heaven. The sins of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. Do thou pray.
Forcefully removing those who are trying to save them. Please.
That's unfortunate.
All right, so whatever. So they were, looks like they were in the looks like they were in the clinic praying. The aggressive prosecution.
So aggressive and violent.
I know. Mostly peaceful.
Praying.
Mostly peaceful. Or wait, no, hold on. Reverse that. Mostly aggressive.
Yeah, mostly aggressive.
They aggressively prayed.
Oh my
The
god.
aggressive prosecution of these pro-life activists was a response to their protesting Washington Surgery Clinic abortionist Cesare Satan, who has murdered full-term viable infants and admitted to leaving living babies to die.
Yep. I heard of this.
Warren Handy retrieved the bodies of 5 babies from the trash of this abortion clinic. The bodies showed signs of legal late-term partial birth and even post-birth abortion. That's just murder, bitch.
Holy
They're just murdering babies. I remember hearing about that shit.
Yeah. So the charge against Paulette Harlow was a violation of the FACE Act, as she and her companions were blocking the entrance to the baby murder facility as they prayed. Blocking entrances has always been a common form of protest to PETA, pro-Palestine, BLM, climate change, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, it really seems if you lean one particular way politically, they're going to get you. Now, to be fair, that was Washington. Trump was in New York. I don't know what state that one is getting sued in. I think it's somewhere down south. Where
San
that happened.
Antonio.
Is it San Antonio? I couldn't remember if it was Texas or Georgia.
Yep. But if they got it through the city, then, or wherever they're doing it there, I mean that part of Texas particularly is blue. San Antonio is quite blue. It's just mini Austin.
Well, yeah, if in the city proper, but the surrounding areas, and that's how it is for Houston, Dallas, and Austin.
Yep.
Hey, Wade. What's my brother saying here? Isn't the woman Trump is having issues with technically an actor's name in the movie The Nice Guys?
What?
Stormy?
Is he talking about Stormy or E. Jean Carroll? The woman, and you know what? Like, I don't want to get into the details, but Stormy Daniels has done nothing but constantly like
cheap porn.
She's lying. She's lying because she came out on Bill Maher's show and said that she never had sex with him.
Yeah, she just spanked him around and all that.
Yeah. and Bill Maher even called that out within the past few weeks, saying, you know what, Stormy, you're lying. And he played the old clip. But none of that fucking matters.
Not right brain, but intelligent thinking moderate leftists are probably really fucking lamenting the outcome of that fucking trial right now, because they've created such a
you mean the upcoming election?
I think they regret the outcome of the trial because of the impact on the upcoming election. What it's going to mean, what it's meaning right now between the polls and the shit that's fucking look at what happened to him in New York State, or was it New York City? Like the point change between the last election and right now, it was something like, what was it, like 24? He was up 24 points and now he's only up 9. That's a fuck ton of ground to cover in a blue state.
As of today, as of today, polls are saying 58% chance of Trump winning Arizona, which is more than he ever had last time around.
What is the?
It's because he's got more Mexicans now.
What happens if if this judge gives him prison time, though? I mean, what is the chances of? What are you going to do if he gets 3 years prison?
Secret Service would have to be there. This is the thing. There's certain things that they're not going to do to Trump Because if he wins, they're going to be deathly fucking afraid that he'll do it to them, and he should. I mean, once we get to that point later, but I
well, no, let's go there now.
You want to go there? All right, let's go there. No, I absolutely think that like what some people have been calling for, even some senators, even some other politicians have been calling for and saying that conservative DA should start charging the Biden family. They should be charging Hunter for the shit that he's done. I know he got some sort of sweetheart deal for something, but frankly, they went after Trump for just about anything, and I think they should be doing the same to Hunter. And frankly, if they can get Joe on an impeachment, by all means, let's do it.
Yeah,
They have nothing. They have nothing.
Open.
The only thing they give Hunter is right now he's on a gun charge. Which, if you watch MSNBC, has now said that they have two forms, not just one of him, and they think it's altered. The gun dealership gave it's not real. He didn't do anything wrong. You know, that's but he's under a gun charge right now.
Well,
felony gun
actually,
charge.
so the state of Arizona, and I don't know if it's past the whatever the timeline for this, but the state of Arizona could prosecute Hunter Biden for drug possession because he returned a rental car in this state and they found cocaine in it and nothing ever happened.
Yep. Jesus.
And under his dad back in was it the 80s or 90s, he would have been in prison for 30 years with the drugs that he had.
This is the thing.
Conservative
DAs need to start digging this shit up. Need to start digging in. And I'm not just talking about fucking Biden. I'm talking about all the rest of them too. Lawfare is on the table, boys. They put it there. They brought it to dinner and said everybody should have some, so we should. They should be using as much lawfare as they can against their opponents. Absolutely. I have absolutely no qualms about it anymore.
But again, what are you going to do if the judge gives him 3 years and he's in prison? You know, how's he going to run the country?
He just, well, at that point, he just, what's the term?
So if
wait, hold on.
If Trump's in
Trump?
prison, Trump's in prison, he's going to have to
himself.
campaign. And then he would just pardon himself.
Yeah, you campaign.
Yeah, pardon. There we go.
Campaign is going to be the difficult part. But like, there's a lot to.
They're proving he doesn't need.
Here's the thing, though. You know what? This is what Trump wants, bro. If they did a debate and Trump
Outlaw
comes out
president.
in chains in an orange jumpsuit on the way to a presidential debate,
They won't ever let him leave
They won't let him leave the prison. Yeah, he won't be able to go.
That wouldn't be an option. He'd be fucked. He wouldn't be allowed to talk publicly.
And that's what Biden wants. He knows that.
And actually,
crazy.
that's what they blame.
No debating, no nothing.
After 2016, they realized that they gave Trump too much free attention.
Mhm.
And so if he's behind bars, then then there's nothing to really say. Right? He's not doing anything, so there's nothing to talk about. But there's another theory. Joe Biden pardons him.
Not a chance in hell.
He
mocks
like coming out looking like the good guy. Like, we are above this political bullshit.
Yeah. I don't buy that.
Not a chance in hell.
It's a theory. It's a theory.
I don't think it's likely, but
yeah,
I could see the idea behind that.
No debating. It's not going to happen. He's no debating. He'll be in prison, and that's exactly what they want. Then he fades away. And that's
I
what they
think.
got.
What about home arrest?
No, they're not going to give that to him. That judge is wanting him for
no
blood.
way.
That judge wants him for everything he can get.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right.
The cell makes him look more guilty to public eye.
Well, right, but like they could also say like because he was the former president, you know, kind of just this whole thing of like trying to be like we could throw the book at you, but we didn't.
Yeah, I understand. Like if they were smart, I think, but they're not that smart.
You know, so you see Kel talking about pardoning Trump. He's like Biden would never do that. He would lose his own voter base. I think if Biden pardoned Trump, he would gain back the people like the Michael Rappaport.
The purple people, man. You need the people in the middle to agree with you. And I think you get a lot of people like I've witnessed who say, wow, the Democrats are crazy. I don't like Trump. I don't like Republicans, but what they're doing to him is insane. You get a lot of people like, you got a lot of libertarians who are saying, fuck it, Trump. And there's more division within the Libertarian Party because you're ostracizing.
The Libertarians said fuck it Trump last time around too. They did not vote for Joe Jordan.
I know, but they hate each other though. Like the actual Libertarians.
Yeah, you're right. The big L versus the little L is a fucking thing.
And it's splitting even more because some of the The actual like big L or little L libertarians are like, you know what? Fuck it, Trump. And it's like, oh, you too. Like it is pushing more and more people.
Look who they fucking picked to run as their candidate. I sent Static a
I know.
Yeah.
We talked
Static
about
issue?
talked about him. Was it last Monday that we talked about the libertarian candidate?
Yeah.
Did
Static.
he beat?
Did you see
Did he
that?
beat Kennedy?
Yeah, I shared that on the show last Monday.
Oh,
Oh, you did share that picture?
Yeah.
Let's just say the person I know might have more of that coming my way.
Let's see. Kel says, I don't know about that. The middle has been watching this shit for a while, and I think a pardon wouldn't override right.
Yeah.
I think that could be very well correct either. But you know what? There's a lot of people who just get brainwashed into stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
maybe it wouldn't be all of them, but he'd get some of them back.
you've seen how much persecuting him by finding him guilty has done for him. It's a complete and utter backfire. That shit at the UFC, all of these other middle road people like Joe Rogan, who are really starting to seem to be leaning his direction, and all the money he fucking raised.
Well, didn't Rogan vote for Biden?
He did, I think.
Has he said anything about that since?
No, but no. When he was at when Trump was at the UFC this weekend, they were very chummy with one another. Like everyone was chummy with Trump at the fucking UFC this weekend. That there's a big, huge thing with him there, like giant cheers from the audience. It was
yeah. Well, there was one part where it looked like he was
not what
about
they
to
were
cry.
looking for.
There
Huh?
was one part where Trump actually looked like he was about to cry.
Yeah, like it was insane. The support for him is exploding, and what they've done is they've martyred him live on television in front of an entire fucking country of people who maybe didn't even decide, and they did it on auspices that they can't hold up. So if they go through and as a first-time offender, even if we're going to take it straight from the fact that he's been found guilty, if they go out and they throw the book at him as hard as they can and try to put him in jail on a first-time offense where there's no real find me the victim, when there's no victim, this is literally a victimless crime. There's no victim involved in this at all. There is no body you can point at or person you can
No
say.
one stole tax money. No one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No one's been damaged by this, and you try to throw him in jail for that, you're going to make the man even more of a fucking martyr.
Well, they're trying to say this is how he
Jesus.
cheated and won the 2016 election. That's what a lot of people are trying to attribute this to. Is like, oh, so this is how he cheated and that's how he won. They're still fucking coping about that shit.
Exactly. Well, this is how the Democrats give it to him. This is how the left they get out over their skis and they completely give it to him. He's done nothing but rise in the polls even more, and not even just in the general polls that are barely that are important, but as we learned last election, not quite that important. He's gaining an obscene amount of Hispanic and Black vote over this shit very specifically, over the straight up persecution of the man. By using not the political system, whatever. What's the difference anymore? The judicial system use their power against him. Let's just say there's a couple groups of people that feel very strongly about that kind of shit happening to them. And this shit, the people who are smart, the actual culture warriors on the right who are making something out of this with people are doing a very good job of enfranchising Trump with people of color, I guess you could say, in general, and not just
the blacks and the browns.
Yes, black people, brown people, people who wouldn't have voted for him before, poor people who were always convinced that the Democrats were there from them, people who live in the lower economic rungs of society, who live in the bad parts of town, wherever, the places where they wouldn't have even considered the guy. That you've got rappers, both Hispanic and Black, out there supporting Trump, making songs about Trump, for fuck's sake.
The guy who made the song "Fuck Donald Trump" voted for Trump in 2020.
So the Venezuelan that my brother has been involved with said he better vote for Trump because Biden had destroyed the economy that Trump allowed her to enter into. She is, I don't know if she's legal or not.
What kind of involvement are we talking? Sexually involved? Or?
Yes.
No.
Venezuelan, my
green
brother's
card
been banging.
transaction.
This is who Steve is criminally involved with and
Criminally
transactionally via
fucking.
business. in Static's other room, which is why Steve isn't on stream right now.
Oh God!
Thank God there's a bathroom between this wall and that one.
Are you just gonna like burn your spare bedroom when you're?
Steve's just gonna walk out and see Static.
I have a
in the
MasterCard.
hallway after
What's
the
the Visa
stream.
got to do with anything?
Steve just comes
Steve
out.
has a Visa.
Orale.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I haven't thought
Wait,
about that.
Steve's with another woman now? What the hell am I missing out on?
Well, dude, you haven't been around for a little while.
Oh, Jesus
Missing
Christ.
a lot.
She doesn't speak a lick of English either.
Oh God!
Yeah. She
Yeah.
just
She-
comes into
she has a
yeah.
visa. And what's funny is she's telling my brother to vote. My brother can't fucking vote.
Can you-
Now it's Static. Come on, this is Maricopa County. Steve can absolutely vote.
I don't. Not as a felon.
I'm just saying it's Maricopa County. He can find ways to vote. I'm sure.
I guess. Yeah, he
Mail-in
can print out his own.
Yes.
Oh.
You don't need an ID.
He can vote Democrat. He
You
just
don't even
can't
have to have the
vote.
right fucking
Exactly.
paper size in this county.
He just can't
All
vote.
Steve has to do is come in and just be like, "Okay,"
Okay.
no, give him a ballot.
That's true. Actually,
Two
he
or
doesn't
three
even have
ballots.
to do that. He could just go in
Yeah.
with his lady friend, and she could do all the talking,
Exactly.
and he could just sit there
And
looking
no,
like an
both the
idiot.
ballot.
There you. That's how Steve.
There you go.
That's how we
How are
win.
you gonna vote
That's
this year?
how we win.
And then he can go and do it at like 4 different places.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying because they don't know or care here in Maricopa County.
With different names and shit.
You know what's wild is my girl, like when you get your license, right? You can put "Are you a citizen?" You can say "Don't answer," and that's how you get out of jury duty, right? So I've done jury duty, right? But I didn't get a mail-in ballot for like local elections here, but my Hispanic wife got called for jury duty and got a mail-in ballot. I'm like, babe, it's because you're fucking Mexican. They think you're here illegal. That's wild. You just search for women with hyphens in their names, and they just assume you're illegal.
Just assuming. Yeah, see, that would be Steve. Look, Kel already has it.
Oh fuck!
I'm here to vote. My
El
name is El
Stevo.
Stevo Gonzalez.
I want to retire at 50.
Exactly. There it is.
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed we're not getting a STEM check this time around.
Fuck
what?
that shit. Fuck that shit.
I
Did he
I
just
need
say something-
motivation
did
for
he
my
say something
vote.
Like a commie? What?
He said the fag checks.
The fag checks.
I need my motivational vote. You
I
know?
want to buy another dog.
Exactly.
That's what I do with mine.
Exactly. Please.
Send
I'm
me
holding
the
on
dog.
to it for 10 years. Like they
I
said
need
we
a new
do Congress.
graphics card.
So with all of this corruption, with all of this bullshittery, like I look at there, I don't see, if you're seeing things from our side of things, that you can't see that America has fallen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The upside down flags, I know some people don't agree with them or don't like to see that done to the flag, but I'm just like, no, it's
Mhm.
absolutely true. We're
It's a state of
crisis.
emergency.
It's not.
we're
Yeah,
in a
it's
state
not,
of emergency. We need to do
not
something.
burning it.
Something needs to be done.
I
mean,
don't.
Even the British, like Jack, are over here, kind of yelling at us, like, "Hey, you guys are about
Dude,
to.
after
You're about to lose it
9/11,
all."
I had an upside down flag patched on my backpack in high school.
Wait, can you
Yeah.
do the? Can the UK flag go upside down, or is it the same?
It's the same.
I think
Yeah,
it's the same.
I think it's the same. Okay, yeah.
That's called symmetry.
So it's kind of a swingers thing. Jack will let us know, but an upside down UK flag means you're gay.
But back to the judicial system, I don't understand how it's even right for a judge to be Republican or Democrat on a ticket. Like I think
president elects them is wild too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how that is even
Me neither.
possible. How are you supposed to like our locals? We have a judge that runs the Republican ticket. And like, how do you get away with that? That's bias and it's unethical. How do you get away with that?
You mean like in Arizona where the
thing
woman who
for
won the
sheriff.
election for governor ran the fucking election? Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
how you get away with that either.
I just don't, I'm not trying to be hateful or, I just don't understand how that's even allowed or even allowed to donate to in elections, electoral. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I never understood it, why and how that's possible.
That's kind of what I meant by like Trump knows they're gonna fire the Supreme Court judges, because it's more like, well, which party elected me as judge, and that's who I'm loyal to, not the actual Constitution. I'm loyal to whoever elected me up there.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to get both judges off the January 6th trial. They're trying to get them off of it because of conflict of interest.
Off of which trial?
It surprised me they were handpicked.
The
One of them.
the one with that Trump's going into. With those two judges, the black guy and the one. With the
Well,
flag.
yeah. I mean, he can't do anything about Alvin Bragg, the DA. He's the district attorney. But I know they tried to remove that judge. And I want to say there was another judge that they were trying to.
the black guy. The one that took all the money from.
The E.
yeah.
Jean Carroll judge,
Yeah.
the fucking that fucking putz. That's what I'll call him. I dropped something and I can't pick it up. Oh well. So what should we be doing as Americans to try and rectify this situation? There is a lot of well, Jack Tarlad has been on a bit of a tear. Jack Tarlad is pissed off at us. He's like, your Constitution, and I think it's out of jealousy, a healthy level of jealousy. Jack Tarlad is from the UK, and he's jealous of our Constitution. Where we have written in it means to overturn the government.
Yep.
And so
Yep.
now YouTube, I'm not saying I'm trying to recommend overturning the government, but like it's not like it comes with an instruction guide of how to do that.
I got it. You go to him and you
little
say, I need you to hand over your nukes and your Black Hawks.
So it does a little bit. The
Black
idea-
Hawks or Black Cocks?
Both. Because the Black Hawks are on the front lines, but the Black Hawks are in the sky.
I mean, the Constitution does have a bit of a prescription for this, and it's actually been in progress for some time. The Convention of States, in all honesty, if we really want to take back the government, the Convention of States movement needs a lot more attention. People need to be paying a lot more attention to it, engaging with the idea of it. We need one. If you and I don't know that stops something like an inevitable civil war or a peaceful divorce, but it sets things. It would set things in motion. Because I was thinking about this, and if there was one thing that could act as a bulwark against the endless march of the left through all of our institutions, which it's done. They've already got everything. Institutional capture is basically over. Corporations, they've got them. Schools, they've got them. Most of the halls of government, they've got them. Arts, media, sports. What
Yep.
don't they have? What
Sports is
institution
fucking
has the left not
dead
taken?
for me now.
I don't think there is one.
Like
Like
an
I'm not.
opportunity.
They don't have a monopoly on being gay, believe it or not, because we do have gay Dave Rubin.
Or
Where
retarded.
is the log cabin Republicans?
Oh, and Trump's on TikTok now, so he's gay. I just love how
him.
like
Block him. My God, block him. We're part of that block train now.
Oh god. I just love how no one will believe like a Twitter. Like, how many live viewers does it say you have on Twitter? Static. You won't believe that number, but you'll believe the fucking Chinese social media's number. Like, that's real.
Oh, you don't think he actually has 3 million followers?
No, in general. I'm saying in general.
Oh.
A lot of TikTok's viewerships and subs are fucking fake because random people will get thousands and thousands of views, and it's all just like algorithmics. Like we put it in front of you, and then they just swipe all past it, and then you get the views.
So who do you think China would rather have president, though?
Not Trump.
And his TikTok
Gavin
account
Newsom.
has smoked Biden's account
That's true.
in days. Biden's account's been on there since February.
Mhm.
That's the
And
other
Trump's
problem
been on there
we're
for 4
facing.
days.
I
and
mean,
he's
a
got
lot of
over
people
3
are on
million.
it and they use it, but in general, like TikTok's numbers are inflated, especially for like smaller. Like that's how the trans stuff got so big because those numbers are inflated. Trump's the most popular guy in the fucking universe. Of
Planet.
course, he's
Yep,
gonna
yep.
have that many, but I'm just saying in general. Like I just think it's ironic.
Well,
And you know
another
what?
thing we have to do.
I was thinking about this earlier, and it's like I've always kind of been kind of anti TikTok for CCP reasons and also brain rot reasons.
It's very good. All I mean, news.
But then then I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? The CCP reasons are no different than any of the other shit that they're doing here, right? Like it's all the same. And you could say foreign entity or whatever. Well, guess what? The Five Eyes lets other foreign entities have our information that the American government's supposedly not allowed to have.
I
Right?
switch back and forth whether I want Chinese
Uh-huh.
people or the government
So-
to have my information.
Here's the thing. If you're on one social media platform, you might as well be on all of them because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Your information's out there. And without being selective of what you're sharing and what you're putting in those personal information fields and all of that, there's no hiding. There's no hiding.
I just is it Trump kind of succeeding or sorry, succeeding or like bending the knee, or is it hypocritical that he went to TikTok? Because he tried to ban it once upon a time, and now it's like, well, I need it now for campaigning. So is
I
that
think it's strategic because he's trying to reach younger people, and this is another thing that we actually have to do. It's another thing that the right hasn't done well at all. Has he done better with brown people, with black people, with Asians, whoever, everyone, every demographic?
Women do not vote for
Stop
Trump.
going to McDonald's and go to Filiberto's.
Full-time college students vote
kids.
for him.
So he
Hold on, what was that?
Every
Asin?
kids matter.
What was it that you said, Asin?
Most college kids don't vote for him.
Most college kids don't.
Most
vote.
college educated. I'm saying like we go to
Current.
college, they don't vote
Yeah.
for him. I've seen it in
Current college
school.
kids won't.
No, because
I-
we're demanded
later
to
ones
watch
will.
sociology and all that shit. We're
Gay.
bred.
Yeah, those people. But again, I'm not thinking about necessarily Gen Z, though they are a bit more conservative. Not the ones that go to college, but the ones that don't go to college are distinctly actually moving more in that direction, especially Gen Z males. I don't know about Gen Z females. I think
Gen Z females, the females are lost. The females are lost.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well,
That's because of the liberals' way of emotionally manipulating people, and we are not teaching our young women how to handle things emotionally. We're not teaching our young boys how to handle things emotionally either. But
I think we're doing. I think that we're
There's-
gonna see a lot
women are
more of
easily taken advantage of. over
There's
that.
no
I think we're
solution
going
to
to
female
see-
bullying.
the trend change a lot in the next generation with Gen Alpha because they've grown up under what would be perceived as left-wing authority their entire lives. And if there's one thing that young men do, it's enjoy doing in their youth, in their teens, in their 20s, is rebelling against authority. And it doesn't matter. It's all about who's in power at the time, who's the boss at the time, who's telling them they can't say that funny meat joke that somebody gets their feelings hurt by, or who says they can't listen to this particular rap song that makes fun of Joe Biden or some other dumbass woke bullshit crap out there. Like it's Gen Alpha is going to be at least the men. I have boys, and I see other boys around their friends, etc. Like I've said before, in my son's school, when Trump was arrested, there were 7th graders using his profile picture or using his mugshot as a profile picture to piss off teachers Why? Because they knew it would piss their teachers off.
Uh-huh.
It's punk rock, dude. Same reason why they skid
hip
marked the
hop.
pride flag.
But this is the thing that this is the thing that the right needs to do is they need to get behind the idea of it and Trump and because after this next 4 years, like what do they have? The right is also notorious for not having a bench that's fucking worthwhile and
And
building.
you know who does that?
We're
Is
not
the
gonna go
fucking
back.
Daily Wire. Because right now, the right is cool. And what do? You shit on culture. You shit on movies. You shit on
Gavin
video
McInnes.
games. Gavin McGinnis. Anime is for pedophiles. The right is punk rock.
Yeah,
It
Matt
is
Walsh
cool
being
right now.
retarded.
And you shit on the things that
Hold
everybody
on.
likes.
I would like to kind of rephrase that. I would say conservatism is
For
punk
sure.
rock
For sure.
Yes,
as
I
opposed
agree.
to the right. Or
I hate
Republicans.
Republicans. I hate republicanism. I know it's cringe. to say
Traditional fucking values is
That's-
punk rock.
Yes, it is.
Exactly, that's what's punk rock, and that isn't necessarily
Get married,
this
have
is what
kids, and go to
Republicans have
church is
become.
punk rock now.
Conservatism is a lot different than republicanism. Republicans
Very.
are fucking John McCain and other shit, and I hate the term that they already burned the term neocon because I would like a better term for it, a new conservative.
Well,
While I may be on the right, I don't consider myself a Republican, but I do consider myself a different kind of conservative.
I'm not. I don't want to be labeled anything. I have conservative
Well,
values.
both
That's all it comes
voting
down to.
blocks
That's
hate the
Exactly.
parties that they have to vote for. You know, vote. You know what I mean? Both voting blocks hate the parties that they have to vote for. Because the left, they're communist, and the right, they hate republicanism. They're populist. That's the
Well,
word. It's populism, really.
There's still so like that's where a lot of this comes down to with these problems is there's still a lot of people in the middle that would just like shit to be the way it's been for the last 40, 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a lot of people
And
that would just be
can't-
like, can we
can't have
please
that
just
anymore.
have two semi-shitty people instead of two completely shitty people? It's how they see it due to how the media presents it.
Turd sandwich and what was it? It was
But see, you're not going to get
a
back to
giant
that. The
douche.
division is too strong. You can't have that anymore. You can't get close to the way it used to be without voting a certain way. And it isn't the left. The left is on the interminable, whatever. Their eternal march left out to the fucking sea, out to the gulags, out to, forced labor camps and assuming a right over your labor as an individual. They're on their way to oligarchies, neo-feudalism, and the return to which is what communism is.
Yeah, more important to that though, right? So like you have left and right? But then you have like the normal people that mind their own business, the people in the middle. How do both sides shame the normal people? The left empathetically says, "Oh, well, you're a bad these people are bad people. They're insensitive, they're unkind," and they manipulate them into agreeing with progressive policies. Versus the right are, even though they're correct, and I agree, they're too brutally honest when they say people like you who sit and do nothing is why the country is the way it is. But does that get them to actually
Left says
agree?
that too. That is what the left is
But
saying.
they're
It's
way more
silence,
manipulative.
etc.
The right is genuine when they do it. The left is manipulative, and that's why it works.
Well,
Yeah, the left makes you feel, the left will make you feel bad. They'll be like, look at poor black babies.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, in all honesty, at the point that it's getting to now, you can say poor black babies. You can turn that right around and say, well, the left is murdering them in New York City at a rate that would be considered genocide if it was happening in a third world country.
Except
Well,
for the
hold
fact
on.
that back in the 90s, the leftists won in convincing the masses that the baby is not alive in the womb. Even though now we have
changing.
Even though now the scientific evidence and the scientific evidence for a while has gone against that. But now,
but that's the thing. We have
irrefutable.
We can't just cede that ground to the left because
But you see, it was seeded. The damn Gen Xers seeded that ground.
The Gen Xers are fucking retarded. We can't cede it. We can't give it up because that tide is changing. The
We have
polls
to
on
take it back.
abortion are
We have to take it back.
But
There's
this is
nothing left to
this is
cede.
how
We
the
have to
left
take
did
back.
it, though.
And that's where the conversation that you and I have had before, Savage, is it's about education. You can't just take away abortion across the board.
Well,
we have to educate these people, and it goes beyond just the actual facts and science of when is one is a life start, but it also goes into real emotional management and having that actual empathy, because there is still a life involved there, and you're being selfish. You're being selfish. Now there's a conversation to be had if there's some sort of health issues or something, but those are so fucking rare that
You have no
it's
idea,
very
dude. When
rare.
I was in high school, the change my mind videos blew up on YouTube. We actually had class discussions based on that. And the very progressive,
In
like
California.
Yeah, well, I went to a charter school.
Oh, okay.
For one, because I had my dad needed me to work, so I only went to school like 3 times a week, and then I worked the other 2 days
That's
a week.
fucking dope.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, like, and the cool thing is that the projects were fun. It was literally like, find an article and bring it to school, and then we'll talk about the news for
I would have
an
actually gone
hour.
to school.
It was a lot of fun.
Right?
But anyway, those Change My Mind videos were huge. And like, we actually had decent conversations. And that's why Steven Crowder, whatever your opinion of him it is today, he got kicked off of colleges because all he was doing was showing information and letting the students speak their minds. Even the progressive Karens, he lets them talk a lot while just showing like the what's it called? The terms. Here's the baby term at 1 month. Here's the baby term at 2 months. Here's the baby term at 3. And then she's just going on. Here's the thing. Okay, did you see D-Day Cobra reacted to Charisma Matters videos?
I don't think so.
So he's a cool YouTuber. I've watched him for a long time. His popular video was basically, why is Brie Larson so unpopular? And his second most popular video is why Aubrey Plaza is so awkwardly popular. And so he basically is like a psych major in college, and he makes YouTube videos. But anyway, he did one on Trump, and he said the reason why Trump's going to get elected is because in midst of controversy, he just repeats what he wants you to remember. And that's what the left does with abortion. When you give them evidence about abortion, and here's an alternative perspective. The key phrase in their brain that they repeat is, oh, but women's rights. Oh, but they need a right to be able to do it. And it's just like, why are you letting these buzzwords get in the way of actual, like, not statistics, but just facts that you agree that this is borderline murder? Let's just meet in the middle. Heartbeat monitor, like the heartbeat bill was like the most centrist in the middle of the road take. And if you say no to the heartbeat, you cannot have a conversation, because I still think even at the heartbeat, it's murder. But I'm willing to go like in the middle. But like, they can't even meet you in the middle. That's what's insane.
No, because they'll never tell you. This is the thing. If they say, oh, well, in these instances, what if, medical things and this and that. Okay, if we just set that aside, and if we set aside rape and incest, we set that aside, then can we? Oh, no, well, no, it could still, should still be a choice. I'll go, okay, so how many weeks should this be? It's always been a matter of a certain number of weeks. A heartbeat is too far. Okay, then tell us where. They can't. They want unrestrained ability to murder a baby until after it's born. That's the left. That's the left. Those are the dyed in the wool, we're already fully there leftists that are all the way there. There is no fixing.
And that's the majority of the people in Congress. That's the majority of the well-known people in Congress. As a matter of fact, it's all of the well-known Democrats in Congress, because they have to keep their definitions loose in order to appease their voters. Because their voters fucking move with the wind. Go ahead, Asim.
It's nothing but clickbait. I mean, like, all I've heard was in advertisements lately is Biden going, if I get elected, I'm going to overturn Roe v. Wade. Why are you waiting until after you get elected with your executive privilege? Why are you waiting till then? Why can't you do it now? You've waited 2 years, and I don't understand.
Well, that was the Supreme Court.
They like to use these big words, like these catchy phrases, or they don't want to look into statistics. They just show.
That's what Kamala Harris did on The View. She was like, "What are you gonna do about the border? Oh, gee, we need to find someone who could do something about the border." And it's us in 2024. It's like, you've been handling the border for 3 years, bitch.
So. Okay, so real quick, I want to bring up what Kel said here, because this is interesting, and I hadn't considered this, but this makes sense. Conventions of the States is a trap. It would be infiltrated by the Marxists, just like every other institution, and we would be even more fucked than we are right now. See, like right now in the state that Arizona is in, I don't want a fucking convention of the states with who we've got.
There's a lot of factors that could go into that, but there is. I mean, the point of the Convention of the States is there would be ways that it is actually controlled to prevent that. There aren't going to be enough states that are going to agree with Marxist and go along with that kind of shit. In Arizona, yeah. I mean, Arizona actually approved the idea of the Convention of States once upon a time, but they hadn't reached the threshold of 35 states and have been trying to for some time. Again, I think that is simply, at the end of the day, what it is a stopgap. Because like I said, there isn't going to be a re-coming together unless a bunch of communists up and leave or age out and die. It's not going to change the landscape of what it is. And it is a remarkably divided country. Possibly one of the most divided times in our history. And there are a lot of people, and I count myself in here, that I can't bring myself back together with people who are avowed baby murderers or baby mutilators or child mutilators, and those who, forgive the predations of adults on children in any way, shape, or form. It's something I'm not going to be having them over to my house for a barbecue. And writ large, I don't think that they're a net positive for our society. They are the people who are leading the charge in the downfall of America. They are the same exact people who have destroyed our justice system, weaponized it, and turned it into a political tool for whatever party's in power. And, and I say that because other parties can be in power and they can wield it. And at this point, I think the right should, because the precedent's been set, and you have to kind of be willing to, meet the enemy on the field of battle with which they're participating on. But I still resent the left for taking it there, for having to go there. There are certain things that have never been done, a lot of things that have never been done in the history of our country that are now being done almost explicitly to persecute somebody politically. And it opens up a lot of doors that, frankly, I don't want open to the government at all, but there's no closing them again. They're going to be used and wielded continually against other politicians. And eventually, if the next 4 years is more of left-wing rule, they will be wielded against you and I. Everybody on this panel will be, fined or arrested for fucking conversations like this. I mean, right now, if we had a talk like this in Canada, there's a very real chance we could lose our bank accounts. We could be fired from our jobs over these very conversations. I mean, you already can here in America for just disagreeing with the government. I mean, it's not a legitimate reason, but it's something that people will do. But they will bring legal precedent around where conversations like this are hate speech. The hate speech laws have been continuously being tried and pushed, and the idea of it will come here to America. I'd be willing to bet in the next 4 years, before the end of the next presidential term, if we don't do something about it. And once that's done, we're done. Then we can't even get our ideas out there anymore. And that's the question I was asking is what do we do about this? There isn't a middle of the road really left anymore. There are people who may be in the middle of the road, but the two sides of the argument are very clearly and well defined now. There isn't a lot of gray area left for us to sit around and uncover here.
When it comes to I will that what you just said could be a very, very long conversation. But let's use two examples. I think right now we have to find a middle of the road for the abortion thing. And that means we need to stop, for the right would need to stop giving up so much ground that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
that's what I appreciated seeing today in Congress. That video from the quartering that I showed you, where they're like, because of the Trump conviction, you've got a bunch of Republican senators who are like, we're going to hold up basically shit coming to the floor because fuck this.
Shock, I'm going to let you field this question.
Yeah, that's all I'm
Right.
shocked.
No,
Shocked with them.
absolutely
old women.
not.
But if you had to choose
And not-
anyone in Congress, whose boobies do you want?
Nancy
Yeah.
Pelosi.
So Daddy
Speaker of the House.
I don't know how to say this guy's name, but
You know you agree with me, Daddy. Daddy
this is the first
delivered.
time we've streamed the
Daddy-
show on Twitch. We
Daddy-
always stream on YouTube and Rumble and such, but I've started streaming to Twitch because fuck it,
Let's get banned.
and it pretty much. But you've missed out on previous shows where Shock is very much into Nancy Pelosi boobies.
Show him. Let's enlighten him. Let's
I'm
blow
not
his
playing that
minds
right
out.
now because
Google
I can't-
Nancy
'cause
Pelosi.
It's a
boobs.
long intro video. and I
They're
don't want to play it right now.
fantastic.
No.
Oh,
bro, what
AOC
she has
Beta.
is fantastic.
Oh well, you gave me options of an old fucking lady. I would still choose Nancy Pelosi.
I said Congress.
Bro,
I
Nancy
said
Pelosi's
Congress,
hanging
which
to the
technically,
floor.
yeah.
He's asking gilf questions like, "What old
She's
lady's
got
titties
really
would you
great
suck?"
bras, Shock. Not great.
I would never touch an old lesbian. Okay.
So okay, so
wait,
back
are
to
you-
what we were saying though. We
Never mind. I'm
we
not even
have
gonna
to
ask.
find something
You
in the
don't
middle. We
wanna
have to
know.
force something in the middle, but like pull it back some, not all the way right away, but pull it back some. The one thing that there's no middle ground is the transitioning of kids.
Yep.
There's no
absolutely
middle
not.
ground on that. And
Anything to do with kids and the left stances on children, schooling. Not going to agree with them on that. I'm sorry. The public school system has failed us for fucking decades. And no matter how much money we throw at it, Lauren Boebert, the Booberts are very nice. No matter how much money we throw at the school systems, the thing that the left will never talk about is per student spending. They'll sit there and bitch about how the schools don't have enough money. But if you tell people how much money we spend per student on children to educate them for the year, it's completely fucking insane. You could, for what you spend per child, maybe not in Arizona because you're remarkably shitty at it. We spend so much money on we spend a lot of money on it, but we dump it all in administration. You could teach a child homeschooled. You could get all the material you need and then some for what we spend on children per child. If you look at how much money, oh Jesus, Shock, how much money the schools get, how much money goes in, tax money goes into the education system, and you break that down per child, and you realize that you're getting fleeced and you're getting fucked. That's why they instituted school choice in the state of Arizona, because this state is so very bad at administering public education to children that they just said, you know what, fuck it, we'll give you some of your tax money back. Here's a fucking grant. We can't do it. We don't know how.
I begged and begged and begged to drop out of high school. I fucking hated school, man.
Dude, my eighth grader, the only reason he's in summer school right now is because he literally just wouldn't turn work in. His ass has been going to fucking tutoring all fucking year for math, and he just wouldn't turn his math in. When he did it, he was fine. He would get A's, he'd pass his test. He just wouldn't do it because he didn't care and he didn't want to turn his homework in.
He's bored, not
It
challenged.
serves no
He's
fucking
he's bored
purpose.
out of his fucking mind.
Your kids know how to use a fucking 3D printer, or at least help you with one. Like he's already more set off than kids in his class.
The big issue
Am I
we hear in
distracting
Missouri,
you?
we hear a lot about is the food. The students' foods are really bad, and I blame Obama for that. Michelle Obama for that problem.
Dude, all the school food is shit. I do not let my kids eat at school.
Thanks,
I make them
Obama.
fucking food at home.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
make bread
like-
for them every fucking week, and that's the sandwiches they have.
Fuck. My mom
My
would would just make a shit ton of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches over the weekend and just fucking pack them each day.
My mom
That's
would
exactly
be
it, dude.
too
I get
fucking.
lunch meat, and we make
Huh?
sandwiches.
Yeah, dude, my mom. Here's the thing: my mom was too fucking drunk and hungover to like take me to school and make me a lunch. But if I ate like lunch at school, because they would charge you,
of Jack. and
she'd
piss
get
you off,
fucking
right?
pissed at me because the school would charge her after. It's like, why are you buying lunch at school? And I'm like, I didn't have any food. Why am I fucking hungry?
She could have done like that one mom I heard about. Just better daughter. Whatchamacallit? Mountain Dew. I mean, I think her
Mountain
kid
Dew
died.
diet.
You know, it's better than nothing.
My mom was like a Southern cooker, so she only made one meal a day. So like there was no breakfast, there was no lunch, but dinner was literally like country fried steak, mashed potatoes, collard greens, pickled yams, biscuits. It was just like way too much fucking food. It was so good.
So, back on the topic.
Yeah.
I think the last thing we want to see is any sort of rumblings of a civil war.
Civil War.
Because I think
to avoid it.
that would just become the greatest excuse to bring in the UN blue helmets and
So Static,
WEF has a fucking army, and like I think that would just be the perfect
watch.
reason for those people to come in and just implement whatever
I
the
don't-
fuck it is that they want to do.
I don't want a civil war. What I'm saying is I think no matter what happens, it's going that way. Like if Trump wins, you're going to hear that civil war conversation flip on its fucking head.
But the Tim
California's going to
Pool,
look to secede the whole fucking thing. This is the thing. They're so adamant about constantly having power. If Trump does win and take power, you will see the civil war conversation coming from the left probably a lot stronger.
They
than it's
want
ever
a
seen
civil
in our
war.
time.
They fucking
Of course
want
they
one.
do.
but the
Union
Tim
Party-
Pool argument for
back-
civil war was a dual economy, which we're already in. So I've always argued we're already in
We're
a civil
more into
war. But they're gonna
We're
hijack
in
it
the
and turn it into
economic civil war.
propaganda.
Sure, but go look at the reason they want a civil war. Go look at what happened during the last one. Go look at the kind of person that Abraham Lincoln actually was. There's a lot of things you can read about. Razor Fist has actually a really good video. It's a good synopsis. It's a lot deeper than what he gets into. But he scratches the surface on the kind of piece of shit dictator that Abraham Lincoln actually was. And how, since he was the victor of the Civil War, he did write the history there of it. And managed to propagandize and cast aspersions over the reasons the South seceded. And I mean, in all honesty, I think even better than a civil war would be a peaceful divorce and states, or at least honestly, I would prefer a dissolution of the Union altogether and something else replacing the federal government. I don't want a United States so much anymore. I would rather 50 individual states or countries who had
It's
a
kind of like
cooperative
the United
agreement
States.
with one another.
It's almost like the feds is more of like a European Union than what it used to be.
Yeah, it absolutely is. That is what it is now. Our federal government has become a European Union trying to hold these states together against their fucking will in many instances anymore. I think what would be better is the dissolution of the federal government, the dissolution of the union, and a cooperative agreement between states that want to conduct trade with one another. And that trade could be a lot of things. It could be food, it could be clothing, materials, it could be military assistance, it could be shared security forces, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's and if you another thing that actually would be a return to Confederation, exactly, Kel. Another thing that would be really great, not just for that would be even in the state that we're in right now, what would be great for the countries is if this law going on in Texas gets passed, where they have a state level electoral college. I that should be happening writ large in every state. In fact, that's one of the failings of the founding fathers is that they stopped with the electoral college ideal at a federal level, and it should have been promoted at a state level in nearly every state. It makes so much more sense. It stops the rule.
I don't think they had any idea
Giant
how
cities
fast
over an entire
it was gonna grow in
state
200
populace.
fucking years.
Huh?
I said I don't think they had any idea how fast this country was going to grow in 250 years. Excuse me. We're
Oh, the governor of California ceased a freeway expanding project that was passed before he even got into the governorship in like the 40s, and he was like, "This town's not going to grow; it's already big."
Yeah, they had no idea. They did not see the baby
California-
boom coming.
California politicians are almost historically fucking retarded from the days of.
He was a Republican. What do you?
Yeah.
That's
Oh, it
the
doesn't
funny
matter.
part.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's fucking retarded. He was
Yes, he is.
So,
Fuck your freedoms.
Republican doesn't save you from being retarded. Not in this day and age.
Yeah, fuck Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's
What did you call him?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's
great.
It's the hard A.
Hard A, yes.
It is a hard A.
It is. That's what I was saying.
In school, they called it the long A.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's new to me.
Instead
My
of
water
just
bottle
short
is not a
Okay.
55-gallon drum. It's literally just a gallon. ABF. You need this much hydration in Arizona. You should know.
Oh my God. I'll highlight it. So Steve says, okay, have fun, you capital F bundle of sticks. I'm out. I'm going to go play with my shaft as it's more exciting than this stickle jerk.
He's in
Your
the next room.
Venezuela
He's in the next
review?
room with you, isn't he?
Playing with his shaft.
Is he
Is
not
he-
in the next room?
Is
Yeah,
his
he's
left
just,
hand
he's-
Venezuelan?
Serving.
Huh? I don't
Is
know.
this
I'm
left
surprised.
hand
I'm surprised he
Venezuelan?
wasn't already playing with the shaft. I mean, this is a good show for that.
I thought you always typed and fabbed.
Yeah.
It's most disturbing.
He types with his right hand and he faps with his Venezuelan hand.
That's his.
Venezuela.
He owns the hand.
I don't know if his Venezuelan hand is here.
No, I'm
It's
saying
like
that
a fucking ninja. She'll just
there
show
isn't
up, and I
actually a
never heard
woman
her.
that he's involved with or Venezuelan. The Venezuelan he's involved with is his left hand. That's Venezuelan.
Oh.
Took a second.
So
I'm so confused with this conversation with Steve. I have no idea what happened to him. I remember him living with somebody else that had a Pornhub account. That's all I remember.
oh, dude, that was a while ago. That was a long while ago.
That's all I remember.
That was a way while ago. So I feel like we've kind of beat that to death. Let's take a look at this sweet article I found. Well, I didn't find it. These articles find me.
They find you.
They just show up in his Google algorithm feed.
My Twitter algo feed.
Or yeah.
God damn, could you turn on any more fucking ads? And why do they got to be so fucking white?
Like more ads. Please.
So, revealed, Dr. Anthony Fauci confesses he made up, in quotes, COVID rules, including 6 feet social distancing and masking kids.
Yep.
He's already said that.
Well, this was said in court today.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, that was live today.
Oh my!
Oh.
I think he said it into MSNBC. He said that too.
This
And they
was-
were like, "How far should we distance each other?" And I said, "I don't know." And she said, "How about 6 feet?" And I said, "That works for me." 2 masks. Oh, 2 masks are better than 1. Okay.
So
Fucking
Fauci
Tony.
said he does not know where the 6 foot social distancing rule came from. He also said he is unaware of studies recommending masks for kids.
Oh wow. Jesus.
So, bombshell testimony, Dr. Anthony Fauci reveals he made up the 6 foot social distancing rule and other measures to protect Americans from COVID. Republicans put out the full transcript of their sit down interview with Fauci from January, just before his highly anticipated public testimony on Monday. Do you guys remember the arrows on the grocery store floor?
Yeah.
Those things annoyed the ever living fuck out of me.
Oh, you know what annoys me is when you see a bag of grapes and it says gluten free. And here's the thing, I always ranted about how stupid that fucking was, but one time my friends and I had to go because he came from another state, and she was like, "Hey, I need you guys to go to the store real quick. I need those like cupcake plastic things that you make the cupcakes in, and I need cornmeal."
Cupcake liners.
Cupcake liners and cornmeal. And I was like, all right. So we all go to the store. I get the cornmeal. And then my friend's like, oh, dude, hold on. That says it's gluten free. And I was like, yeah, it's corn. And I was like, this is why they put gluten free stickers on the grapes.
Oh my
Because of
God.
fucking idiots like you. I was like demoralized. And I'm like, oh, that's why society's retarded. I'm friends with you. Oh my God.
I haven't seen that. That must be a California thing.
Oh,
but man,
probably. Well, he's in fucking Florida, all right? Like, you
Oh,
shouldn't
God.
be that retarded.
And Florida man's a thing.
Northern Florida. It's not even the tip. Or wherever Miami is.
Just real quick, forking around
What
and
up, dude?
Ariel Ballet just telling it how it is. Finally, Trump has been convicted and should be on the fast lane to jail. I can't wait until we hear Trump has become someone's wife.
He's the best bottom. There's never been a bottom quite like mine.
Oh, and then Kel says Trump is already someone's bitch. He's America's bitch, and we love him for it because he puts out.
He puts out a black people giving him money.
So, where did I leave off here? They plan to grill him about COVID restrictions he put in place that he admitted didn't do much to slow the spread of the virus. We lived like this for how fucking long? I mean, Arizona wasn't too bad, but I got kicked out of stores for not wearing a mask.
Me too.
You weren't allowed to go into classes without a mask on.
Yeah, you were fucked in that regard.
Dude, what was it? My girls' college, they're like they're mandating like the 4th or 5th booster, and they're like only 12% of you got your boosters. You can't come to school if you don't get it. I'm like, who gives a fuck? You gonna just kick all your students out because literally one person got it and no one else did?
So during 2020, I got a job at Papa John's around like May or June or something. And, you know, it was business as normal. And then August comes around. And I see these weird packages. I'm like, what are these things? They look like something. The way I put it is they look like something you'd find on Epstein Island. And were these little face masks that looked like diapers that had like pizza print on them, like little cartoon pizza shit. It took them until August to make their employees put masks on. At that point, the bullshittery could not have been any more obvious. I'll have to show you guys the mask. It was fucking weird looking.
I hate when people still wear masks and they don't cover their nose. It's like, what's the fucking point then? Holy shit.
During this whole Palestine thing, that's all you seen was masks everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
All over like my school, I mean, because I had to go to Fayette, and all you saw was a bunch of kids with masks on, all out of nowhere. We haven't seen masks in like 2 years, and all of a sudden now everybody's wearing a mask.
Because they're allies and shit. It's just a fucking like
it's a trend. It wasn't
a trend. Yep.
It's a trend. That's all I kept saying to everybody. It's a trend. It's nothing more.
It's like a Bernie sticker or a MAGA hat. Like, there's no fucking difference.
I'm so sick of hearing that word. You know, every time you want to say Republican, that's all you hear is MAGA. MAGA Republicans. The MAGA Republicans. MAGA Trump. You know, that's all you hear.
We need to move away from MAGA. I like the phrase itself.
Well, we got the old people that are the Republicans, and then you got the people who don't want to be serving those Republicans. They call themselves MAGA because they support Trump. That's all it is. Like, I get that it's cringe and that it's unnecessary, but
no. I think instead of MAGA, it should be America First.
Oh, they do say American First. Sorry.
I know, but I think we should move to that.
Sure. Okay.
And then have them try and use that against.
Are you trying to piss off AOC?
Fuck AOC. Her titties are underrated, overrated.
I think you might be wrong on that, good sir. I think
her face looks like a fucking horse. Oh, she's a big booty Latina. Yeah, because horses have huge asses.
Actually, she's not that big of a booty, I don't think.
There's a couple of channels that they've been showing that are from her district on YouTube that are showing that she hasn't done a damn thing for them since she's running office, and she just thinks she's going to automatically win because
she's literally an actress. She applied for a position. She applied to a fucking wanted ad for someone to run for Congress in the newspaper by a talent agency. This has been proven by Mr. Reagan many years ago, who did all the work on his YouTube channel. You can go find that over there.
I think it's not the worst move ever. I think it's benefited them for the most part.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just saying, like, we look at...
Oh, my God.
they're just showing that, like the people are just sick of her. They're just completely sick of her because she's not doing anything for their district. But yet she's going to win because she's running on a Democratic ticket. That's it.
Oh,
That's all she's relying on.
She's literally a Fed. She has so much Fed support and Congress support that it doesn't fucking matter that her district even wants her. That's what pays for her campaigns. And who can afford to run in New York anyway? Unless you're supported by the man. People are leaving New York, dude.
Yeah, I think more businesses after what Trump's just been through. More businesses need to get the fuck out of there because they're doomed.
No, they know that because the governor promised them that no one else is going to get attacked. It was just just one time,
which in and of itself deserves a fucking investigation.
He was like, "This vest saved this young man's life," and I'm like, "You risked this young man's life."
I don't have the shit here.
Holy shit, dude.
But so after the Trump conviction, Jim Jordan sent a very strongly worded letter to the district attorney of New York. And it's like, motherfucker, I am so tired. These people, they have these hearings and stuff, and they get their sound bits for their fucking re-election campaigns, and they don't do a damn thing. Ted Cruz is the king of this.
Maxine Waters and Ted Cruz both use the same West Coast playbook.
and if Congress does anything where they pull in Bragg or whoever, the judge should be sitting in front of Congress. If any of that ever happens, nothing will ever actually come of it. They're gonna do this. They're gonna get a bunch of sound clips. They're gonna have a bunch of fucking people tweeting it out and shit and be like, "Oh." And then nothing. Not a damn thing. It's annoying. I'm sick of it. They all need to go. And I'm kind of in agreement with Savage over the dissolution of the federal government and just kind of let these states do their things, figure out trade and stuff, and just
who's going to be the world police then?
Go from there. Huh?
Who's going to be the world police?
I know, right? Who's going to blow up children?
You mean not only the world's police, but we're also the world's piggy bank.
The big thing is India and Pakistan. Who they get nuclear weapons, they're going to use them. That got to have that world police out there. What's everybody?
You're absolutely right. The rest of the world would not like our federal government not existing anymore. Fuck them, America first, man. You guys could figure out your own shit, man. Gosh. It's like this weird incestuous thing going on between all the countries. Why is that photo back? Why?
Ariel was confused.
Listen, the only thing I want to see that has Nancy is her portfolio. That's all I give a shit about.
I like it.
All I give a shit about Nancy is her portfolio. That's all I care. I don't care about the way she looks. I just want her portfolio.
I say, why not both? Why not both?
But to answer your full question to me, the judges should be abolished, especially they should not have any kind of political affiliation. Because that was the whole thing.
They're supposed to be nonpartisan and just read the
Dr.
law.
Dr. Fauci, I hope he goes to prison, because he lied about everything. The whole thing was a big lie. He ruined lives. He ruined careers. Ruined the military because the military lost their jobs because they wouldn't get COVID shots. Ruined people's lives, man. I deal with veterans right now. I got 2 veterans right now that just got out that were dismissed because they refused to get COVID shots, and now one is highly with PTSD and suicidal ideations, and the other one is got a. He can't find a job because he's got a bad record because of his D214.
A bad record from what?
Fauci. Oh, when you get discharged, from a general discharge or whatever, less than honorable,
Uh-huh.
you're fucked. You know,
Yeah. You're absolutely right. And it's like really hard to fucking
you
get a
can't
job.
get benefits from the VA,
Mhm.
so you're fucked in. You know,
Yep.
So Bill Clinton paid Paula Jones, this horse, $850K to keep quiet. Donald Trump paid Stormy $130K. Actually, he didn't. Michael Cohen did that. Let's make
Yup.
these memes right.
Mhm.
Proving once again that Trump is a better deal maker.
Hmm.
I mean, shit, like
That's
I
true.
wonder how much Kennedy paid off back in the day with Maryland.
Oh man.
I wonder what he gave for all that hush money
I wonder
and all the stuff that
I
him and his brother
wonder
were doing.
if Trump wins and he actually declassifies the JFK information, if that would be available.
If he goes to prison, if he legitimately goes to prison, I wish to God he would just tell all. If he can't become a president, just tell all. Just tell everybody everything that he knows.
Going to jail means doesn't mean you can't become the president.
Yeah, you
I'm
can
just
still be
saying,
president, yeah.
if they prevent him from being elected, I say just tell all. Just tell everybody everything that happens.
Well, they'll give him the oh my God, what's his name?
Epstein?
The WikiLeaks guy.
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
Forgot his name.
Right, we had the Twitter files, and that kind of faded away.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because
It wasn't credible. They said now.
oh no.
Democrats
I don't know who said it
that
wasn't
was not
credible. Whoever said it wasn't credible was fucking lying. It was very credible. It's just internet brain, internet attention span.
Well, it's in a way like properly confirms biases. Like for people who are speculating, finally got their proof, and for people who didn't speculate, didn't give a shit when all that dropped.
You were thinking of Julian Assange.
Julian Assange.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. If Trump goes to start spilling all the beans, they'll just Julian Assange's ass.
I mean, he's gonna
karma right there.
Because
The
Julian
Ecuadorian-
Assange is held as a prisoner in, I believe, the UK right now.
UK, but it was the Ecuadorian embassy where he was. for a long
Well,
time.
he was there for a long time, but they got him out of there, and he's
Trump should go to the
he's been in the UK for a few years as a prisoner, and they've been trying to get him here. They haven't yet. I haven't kept up with all the details as of late. It's been a year or two since the last thing, but he's considered a traitor to the people for his leaks, and that's exactly what they would do to Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you know what's on the books if you're a traitor in this country? The gallows.
Oh,
That's
the gallows.
Biden
is
to
still a
the
punishment
gallows.
to
Bring
traitors
the
in this
gallows
country.
back. Bring him back.
Bring back guillotines. Make guillotines great again.
Yes, make guillotines great again. Gosh.
Well, I guess that's all I've got. Oh, you know what? No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I've got more COVID shit
All right.
because this guy's a cocksucker.
Don't they should show a picture of Steve.
Meh.
This guy, I don't know which clip this is, but we're just gonna watch these. We're just gonna
Let's do
watch
it.
these clips and make fun of this motherfucker. I hope you guys are ready because this is a good time.
All right.
I hear your understanding of the pandemic. I don't agree. I lived it closer than you in many ways.
Fuck you.
Oh my
What a fucking cockbag.
Fuck you.
I lived it closer than you in many ways. When I faked my illness and went out in public and made fun of the fat tire bike guy and lied my face off.
I don't know. Yeah. I was an essential
Definitely
worker.
living it.
Right. Yeah. You were an essential worker. So you actually might have lived it more than he did.
I didn't live shit. I still went to work.
Same.
Ariel,
went to
this
work.
is Chris Cuomo. He is a recently fired CNN anchor
Mhm.
who now works on the Patrick Bet David podcast for some fucking
But
reason.
I'm still fucking pissed at him for that.
But he is having a debate with possibly the person who should have actually been the Libertarian presidential candidate and not who they got.
Mhm.
Dave Smith, and they're having a debate about COVID. And this guy, well, you're going to see through the clips who this jackass really is.
Oh, yeah.
Closer than any of you, probably, in many ways. And there were absolutely mistakes made. The idea that it was a totalitarian regime, that's hyperbole.
No, it's not.
No,
exactly
it's
what it
pretty
was.
dead on.
All right, can I respond, because
Please.
there was a lot there, so I want to try to respond to
It's
as
true.
much
I
of
didn't
it
mean to
as I
flood the
can.
zone. We
No,
can
no,
take it one by one.
We can go one by one. Okay, first of all, when I described the lockdowns that swept this nation in 2020 as totalitarian, just to be clear, I'm not being hyperbolic. When you're waking up every morning to watch your TV, to find out from your governor what you're allowed to do today, including, am I allowed to go to work? Am I allowed to have a funeral for my father? Am I allowed to see my family? Am I allowed to step outside without a cover on my face? There is one word and one word only for that, and that is totalitarianism. I'm sorry. That's not slightly hyperbolic.
I hear you.
Thank God
Dude,
Dave Smith remembers this stuff.
dude, like that's how it felt. Every day, like, you'd have to read the news and they'd be like, there's a curfew, there's a this, there's a mask mandate. And I'd be like, okay, well, my company says I am essential. So what do I do? So then it was so weird. I just went to work and I'm like, all right, well, if a cop pulls me over, I'm just going to be like, I work and this is my thing. And nothing ever happened. And I was surrounded by people.
You had your papers, you mean?
No, I didn't have papers.
Yeah,
So
you
my
did.
boss, no, we didn't have papers. My boss got pulled over and he basically was just like, yeah, this is where I'm going. I was like, okay, bye. And I and people in my life were like, I'm doing my part by staying home. And then they were crying that they couldn't afford to fucking live because they couldn't work. And I'm like, well, I'm the one that's trying to protect your fucking rights. And I'm an air quote essential worker. You're the one that let the government title you non-essential. And you fucking supported it. And I
Exactly.
didn't.
Steve wants to go back to lockdowns.
I kind of do. There was no traffic. It was so good.
Oh, dude, you know this was $1.
I love my
under $1.
grandma,
For
but
those
I
of
had
us in the
Saturdays
office-
to myself, you know.
I had to work in an office still, but nobody was there. It was fucking amazing. It was great.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was so fantastic. It was the best time ever to be doing an IT job because people weren't there. They had to call. They had to put in tickets. They couldn't come bother you at your desk. You got so much work done. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
great. I loved it.
Me too.
Let's go back.
People
Ban
actually,
everybody from coming to the office and going on the freeway.
That's right.
So we got more stuff to make fun of Cuomo with.
Better name for him.
I've got plenty of these.
You have the luxury of not worrying about what happens when you say what you say. I work for a place.
You have the luxury of not worrying about what, repeat that?
You have the luxury of not worrying about what happens when you say what you say.
You put that on yourself when you sign a contract with the devil.
No one has that luxury anymore. That's
anymore.
that's not real.
No,
You
well,
are always held accountable for what you say these days. Everyone,
I think I took
except
it,
for Chris Cuomo.
No, he doesn't have to, but I think he takes it as, well, I work for the news, so I have to say the right thing. I had to have the politically correct take on COVID because I work for CNN. That's how I heard that.
Forkin is on one right now.
It says Patriot, damn it. Right? Fuck.
I work for a place that will get a phone call from someone that they care about, okay? It will matter to them. And you can say, well, they work for this 3-letter agency that are all, bad
Chris,
people.
if I had, let me tell you something. This is what's really infuriating about you saying that, right? I understand the pressures at CNN where powerful people could make a phone call and then you could be in a lot of trouble.
No, it's just an
hold on, let me just,
accountability
no, wait, here,
proposition.
let's talk accountability.
Yeah, that's
if
how I took
I
it.
had your track record on COVID, I'd be out of business. Period. No one would listen to me anymore. I would have no way of making
I would
money.
argue the
I'd
reverse.
be ruined.
I would argue
be
the reverse.
absolutely ruined.
If you didn't
I
sell
had been-
people that there were easy ways to get past COVID and that the vaccine was a joke and everything that happened was a joke, I don't think you'd be in business. I think if you weren't doing these things, I don't think you'd have the same platform because it sells very well in digital media.
No, I mean, it's just, first off, I never said the things that you just said. The thing is that, yes, you're right. Me being against lockdowns, against mandates, against the corruption of big pharma, yes, that did help
No,
me,
and
for
the
sure.
vaccine.
So,
And
Chris Cuomo's the only person who has accountability through all of this.
or the distinct lack thereof.
Yeah, there wasn't any.
He talks about how it plays well in digital media.
As a
But
matter of
only
fact,
how well
I'm trying to find the
CNN's
clip where
doing.
he just fucking completely gets owned. Here it is. This is it. This is the golden one. I love this clip so much.
There was so much talk that they don't want you to take ivermectin. Ivermectin is the way to go. Take it. Joe Rogan got better from ivermectin. And by the way, I don't like what people did to Joe Rogan about ivermectin. I don't like.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I don't like what they did to him.
He said, "I don't like what they
turned him green."
Fuck you.
Right. How fucking CNN turned him in bright yellow like he had jaundice or something. Literally photoshopped the fuck out of Joe Rogan to make him look more sick by turning.
Oh,
up
yeah,
the
I remember that.
saturation.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You did it.
No.
Okay,
Oh,
you did.
come
Find the
on,
clip.
guys.
Dude,
That's
find
not
the clip.
fair.
You shamed Joe Rogan.
Find
you
the
said
clip.
he's taking horse dewormer. You and Don Lemon were chuckling at each other about it.
No.
I'll go find
First
the
of all,
clip.
you just saw the clips.
I watched
I'm
it.
not chuckling. I'm listening to Don. But
No. The
here's
clip
point.
I'm talking about wasn't on there, and
Here-
it's absolutely
look, we
there.
were at-
Here, do we have it? Hold on, let's play the clip.
But
Injecting drugs for animals and horse.
And people telling them to. Oh my God. What person? You talk about cancel culture and who to shame. Ivermectin, a dewormer, really?
They are shaming themselves.
That's
No one
what it
has
is.
to shame them. They're shaming themselves.
So you're taking a dewormer right now,
This
Chris.
is
Chris,
a
you can't
dewormer.
apologize for that. You weren't being clear that it was
All
this,
right.
and you know that, dude. You're being so dishonest right now, man.
I'm not
You
being
were talking
dishonest.
about ivermectin, the drug. You were not talking about this
was-
version of ivermectin. Come on, man.
There was so much talk.
Disingenuous sack of shit.
I don't know if I'm more. I think I'm honestly more upset at PBD because, I used to respect him, and now his show is just WWE. I can't take him serious anymore.
Yeah. When it comes to Patrick Bet-David,
The fuck? This is great for views and shit, but it's just I don't know. I thought he was the straight guy.
I
He
don't know
just
what his
loves being
motivation-
surrounded by fucking liberals, don't he?
It makes it feel very grifty, doesn't it?
It feels grifty to me. He loves being surrounded by he has a kink for liberal men. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's got Tim Pool syndrome. He has to be the smartest guy in the room. Because he always is, because he surrounds himself by morons.
I don't know. He's got Dave Smith on.
But it's a guest. That's not.
heard
He
that
didn't
name
hire
in
him.
a while, Tim
Oh,
Pool.
true.
He's a guest. Guests don't count. Love Dave Smith.
Dave Smith is awesome.
Oh yeah, he's great.
We kind
Love
of
me some Dave
You know what? Actually, last week this is how legit this show is. Last week we shat on Dave Smith.
Kind of.
When you come out and
But
tell
yeah.
people to be respectful and everything, and then the very next day you come out and you shit on the exact same thing you said to be respectful about, you lose a little bit of respect. But that's a Dave Smith thing. He
That
does
was
that every once in a while.
And
He's
that's
fucking smart though. It's
it's
like
a nitpick. It's a huge nitpick.
it's a terrible, terrible analogy,
but yeah.
but it's kind of like J.K. Rowling. I did not know the
see what you're
tits moved
saying.
on Pelosi while you talked.
My eyes are up here, Static. I just did this now.
God.
This is
Eric-
good. Yeah.
Happening.
No. I just did it right now. Yeah. This is great.
It's such a nightmare.
My eyes are up here.
Yeah, I'm gonna toot my own horn there. Yeah, last week we kind of shat on Dave Smith, and when you see the full videos in their full context, it makes more sense of how he was seeming a bit hypocritical.
It was a nitpick of him being hypocritical, but on the grand scale of things, it's really not that much. I'm a big fan. Of Dave.
I just absolutely despise the fact that he was celebrating what the mainstream media was saying.
I know.
That's retarded. And he knows. He knows.
Yeah. What's the thing? He doesn't like Trump, but he always finds himself defending him because he has morals. Whether he finds himself being a hypocrite at times, he follows his morals.
Look, it is humanly impossible to not be a hypocrite.
Yeah. I wonder if he realizes, oh man, I don't like how I said it, but I felt it. It's hypocritical. Don't care. You know, we all go through that.
Ariel's very pleased with you right now.
You're welcome. You can objectify me all you like. It's my job.
Does Ariel know that Devil isn't on tonight?
Devil is on break.
I know Devil is on break. I'm just wondering what Ariel's up to.
What's he usually do on Mondays?
Is it? Yeah.
Well, he usually
Ariel was a Devil simp.
Wait, was she asking about Devil?
God,
Damn
fuck
it,
that
Shock.
bitch. Fuck that
Wait,
whore.
I wanted to call Acid Shock. Son of a damn it, Acid. Because Shock the one that's putting the crazy stuff. It used to be Acid putting the crazy stuff up.
I was gonna say,
I have so many, and I just deleted them all.
every podcast needs the misbehaved co-host. I tried to disappear, but them tits, yes.
Yeah, he keeps trying to leave. Like, this is the second
Yeah.
or third time he sent a
Yeah.
message like this. I'm kind of pissed. I have to love 25% of the panel. Acid, I honestly respect you. The rest of the panel,
don't know why you
SMB, I'm
respect me.
out.
Love
Yeah, and
you
you
too,
know what?
Steve.
He does this every stream now. He did the same thing last Thursday where he's like, you know what? I respect Brad, and he said he respected Brad and he loved I don't remember, but he loved someone else. And he's like, the rest of you can fuck off. I'm out.
Usually.
He's always got some sort of weird excuse.
He usually loves himself.
And then
Yeah.
Paul's just back in time. Now, Paul, watch the bags. Just make sure you keep your eye on the bags.
Hello, Paul. Hail pickles. My tits.
Oh, Lord. There you go, Paul. Need to make a song about Nancy Pelosi's tits for Static's opener. Or Shock's
shit.
opener. Fuck. I've done it again. Stupid
That's
Static
a
Shock.
possibility. I could figure something out. Anyways, does anyone got any final thoughts on the evening?
Fuck Fauci.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Fuck Tani,
Fauci.
Mr. Tani.
Fuck Cuomo.
Fuck.
Fuck Fauci.
The Cuomo
Shock.
brothers and Fauci should be in jail.
Oh
Yes, they should be in jail. Shock wants to fuck Nancy Pelosi's tits.
So do you.
Who
You're
else
looking
can
at
get
them
fucked?
right now.
Alvin Bragg can go fuck himself.
Oh, fuck that fat fuck. There's fat pimps and there's
Child
fat fucks.
Abusing leftists can go fuck themselves. Let's see other final thoughts. Like Static was saying, the right needs to stop ceding ground. They need to they need to stand for something. And if our politicians don't stand for something, then we're unfortunately going to have to get out and do it. And we need to start making our voices heard. You need to start actually standing up and saying something. In your friend groups, at school, at work, wherever, speak your mind where you can without, obviously putting yourself in danger or out of a job, I suppose. Maybe work isn't always the best place, but outside of work, you should absolutely be.
I have a
Keeping
question
your mind more.
with what you just said.
Yes.
And I want to ask this question to the panel. Is anyone here able to actually talk politics with their friend groups in real life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
And they're on the other side too.
Uh-huh.
No.
You shocked? Did you say yes?
I did say yes.
So how does that
He
go
lives in
for you?
California. What the fuck?
You know, especially like with someone who is like air quote Democrat or whatever, they're just happy that their side's in office and they don't really pay attention to much things. And they're like, yeah, that's cool, that's you, but I don't like him, yada yada yada. And I don't like this, and this, but I don't like Republicans. And it's just like, neither do I. But like, holy shit, do you not want to stop anything that your side likes? And it's just it's just cognitive dissonance. But you know, it's just a lot of agreeing to disagreeing. And then over time, though, they secede. Over time, people are like,
that should be all.
I forgot what like the latest thing that happened, but just over time, it's just people are like, hey, did you see that thing that happened 2 years ago? And I'm like, yeah, I told you about it. And like, oh, dude, that's wild. I can't believe that happened.
Did you know that a January 6th happened?
Pretty much. And then but the verdict is they hate politics, and you know, and they hate both sides. So most of my Democrat friends,
wrong, it's just
if their side's not right, both sides are wrong. And I'm just like, hey man, credit, as long as you can agree that this shit's terrible and rather not have it. But you know, most people who are your friends respect your opinions. You know what I mean? And it's just, as adults, you got to agree to disagree on things. And it's nothing like egregious, you know what I mean? Like drags kid stuff or puberty blockers, all the big stuff. I'm not friends with people that agree with those gnarly big stuff, but they still don't want to give Trump or any conservative any credit for calling that shit out. Because, to their point, most conservatives are just ex-liberals. And so they're like, well, I like this guy, even though he kind of hangs out with conservatives and he gets labeled conservative. And it's like, because he is.
Well, and actually, Donald Trump is fucking Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
He's a 90s fucking lib.
Pretty much.
Well, what made Clinton so bad was his evil lesbian wife.
Right, but in the
Running the fucking world.
90s, they weren't as fucking egregious with some of this shit. As a matter of fact, I don't think Clinton really got us killing many people in deserts and shit.
Yeah.
She was just a lot more quiet about it in the 90s. She was still up and coming in her murder game.
Yeah.
Right. And that stuff was
do what again? Who?
Hillary? The list. Well, I'm speaking.
I just don't know that many people that know that many people that died.
Specifically about Bill and not Hillary. Hillary's career had not started while Bill was in the White House.
I still think she was killing people.
I think House of Cards is a fucking biography on the Clintons.
Yeah, I think so too. Because a lot of those shows, kind of like Narcos, they just hit too close to home and they cancel the fucking seasons for some random reason.
Yep. That happened. Actually, that's not an irregular thing to have happen.
Mm-hmm.
The X-Files and Chris Carter, basically the guy who created it, got excommunicated from Hollywood, for lack of a better term, because of what he produced in the first episode of the X-Files spin-off, The Lone Gunman. It's a massive conspiracy around that because it aired about 6 to 9 months before 9/11. It's a very, 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 a very close depiction of what happened during 9/11. Like, if you go watch the first episode of The Lone Gunman, go find it. And then realize that was mere months before 9/11 actually happened. And Fox aired the rest of the season after a very long hiatus. And I think a lot of reshooting that basically turned it into a comedy for the most part, which The Lone Gunman were always kind of silly. But they went very heavy on the slapstick, and nothing was quite as poignant as that episode was. And after that, I think Chris Carter left the X-Files for a while, And the show stayed on for a little bit, but he left Hollywood. And after the X-Files was done altogether, he was gone. I don't think he ever made anything in Hollywood ever again after that. Some of the writers from X-Files did, but he disappeared. There's a lot of conspiracy theories around that episode. But yeah, when Hollywood hits close to home, sometimes it's because they might know a thing or two, actually. You should read some books by Michael Crichton. That guy knew a few things as well. Read the book State of Fear. I highly recommend anybody who is interested in this military, legal, media, industrial complex
I think
we deal with today.
BLM already proved that, because it was like, if there is an actor that you hadn't heard of in years and you wondered where they were, it's because they had normal lives and they wanted to get out of Hollywood. Or all of a sudden BLM, all these old actors that you haven't heard in fucking years, all of a sudden they have an opinion and they're in the spotlight and they're in the media.
Yeah, it's because they wanted attention again.
I'm shocked Dak Shepard didn't do that.
Most of them were probably paid.
So, Fractured, when you talk with your friends about politics, how does that go for you? I mean, Fractured. God damn.
I was like, Fractured here? What the hell?
Acid.
What about me? Oh, my friends?
Yeah.
They don't really talk about Trump. They don't talk about Biden. They talk about the Congress, more or less. You know, bills getting passed, not getting passed. It's mostly just, you know, healthcare, women's rights, things like that.
Have they found a right that women don't have yet?
Right.
So it's more like the Roe v. Wade thing.
Okay.
Also, the Free Palestine. We have that. We've had a couple deep conversations about that, and Israel, because it's just there's a lot they talk about, but it's mostly Congress. They really don't give a shit about Trump. They don't really give a shit about Biden, because they all know that in all of it, it comes down to who's in Congress, who passes the bills.
Yep.
Yeah. When I talk to my friends about politics in general, everyone I know IRL voted for Biden, and they all disagree with all of this trans stuff.
And anything about it though.
And
yep.
Right, because they haven't had the book sent home with their kid yet.
Basically.
And so that's really what it comes down to. But I'm pretty sure they will still vote for Biden.
It's just because they hate the other side, dude. Like, a big pet peeve I have is when people call me a Republican, and I have a friend that does it on purpose just to fuck with me.
Right.
And it pisses me off because I'm talking about all this culture shit. And like, oh god, well, you sound like a Republican. And it's like, it has nothing to fucking do with it, because they send money to Ukraine too. Like, it's all the same shit. It's the uniparty. Like, we have issues with everyone in power right now. And you won't even like entertain, because you have to run as a Republican to even go against a Democrat. And you don't even know if you'll get an actual populist or conservative or America First. You don't know if they're bought out by the Republicans even. And they just can't connect that dot. They just hear, oh, good name, bad name. Oh, is the dark side the good side now? That's kind of confusing for me. That's just how they view it.
Ariel's worried that your secret identity is gonna be leaked.
I'm safe.
Ooh, me?
No, Savage.
Oh. Looking good. What if they think you're Jack Murphy? Yeah. That was
69 for 69.
I don't dye my beard like that fucking cuck.
That's true.
I earn my white in my beard like a man does.
Oh well, he's earned the white in his. He just covers some of it up.
Right.
But he's asked for the white in his. He just sat there like this and said,
No, because what he dyes the black parts. It's all gray.
Oh.
He dyes the black parts. Now, granted, but when he was on Tipcast and stuff, I never saw him looking like what EVS would look like after he dyes his beard. Holy fuck!
Right?
That looks weird.
EVS,
it does look weird.
EVS is this is what massive narcissism does to you. But I was talking about the spooge that Jack Murphy got in his beard.
Okay.
When he says it like this, like, he gets the white in his beard.
Yes, and
I took it there.
Oh, I'm gonna stop. Because
took it there
because
Oh,
it
God.
wasn't coming from the usual place. It was coming from his girlfriend's.
Oh. Oh God, yeah.
Anyway, Acid, do you have any final thoughts on the evening? You said fuck Fauci.
That's the government's corrupt. We'll never. There's nothing going to be able to fix it. It's not repairable. It's not like just like their healthcare system, just like everything else. They slap band-aids on it just to fix enough, just to get the next 4 years.
Yeah, you know what? You were absolutely slapping band-aids. That's what they do. They put band-aids on everything.
That's all they've ever done.
The goal is to just convince people
Outside
to
of
stop
Walmart.
voting for handouts by the government. Like that's the big.
It's like a giant corporation because that's all corporations do is they just slap band-aids on things.
So other than that, I'm glad I'm here. That's the main thing today. But yeah, fuck Fauci. He screwed up everybody. Him and his group. Little minions.
Did he commit a crime?
Yes.
What was that crime?
He knew exactly. He
lying to Congress.
Which crime?
Yeah.
From him taking money from all three, which he has
Fraud.
denied today that he did it. He didn't take any money from COVID, but we all know that he because he played the fifth during that during the last time where he took money from Pfizer and all of them after the medication started coming out, the shots, and also he knew exactly about the COVID. He's done other experiments, on animals, all kinds of things.
Didn't he kind of go against one of Obama's orders too?
He's done a lot of things.
Yeah, he's done a lot of shit.
It's because he's a self-serving piece of shit.
Yeah, but he's animal cruelty. Animal cruelty. He's gotten several of his experiments.
Animal cruelty. He removed the voice boxes from those beagles because they didn't want to hear him cry while the sandflies were eating off of their faces.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I hope he rots in hell. That's about it.
You're right.
No. Mm-hmm.
And lying to Congress is something that he should definitely go to jail for. But no one ever seems to do that anymore.
No one goes to jail except
a lot of people lie in Congress,
simple.
and nothing ever fucking happens.
No one goes to jail but the president.
Statement from before that we've already seen is that lawfare is now on the table, boys. The Democrats brought it to dinner, and we're going to be absolutely fucking up shit creek without a paddle if we don't imbibe ourselves and start using it.
I absolutely agree. But that's going to drive more towards the Civil War and bringing in the fucking blue helmets and the white hats and all these fucking things that we don't want here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't at this point. It's either succumb or end up in a war. Like I don't see a clean, peaceful, nice, happy path out of it. There isn't one. Even if we even under the auspices of a peaceful divorce, you're talking about the mass relocation of millions of people. That isn't going to be peaceful either.
Yeah.
No.
There's no peaceful resolution.
Well, I mean,
there's varying degrees of shit.
Supposedly on a Trump victory, we have a mass relocation of millions of people.
Oh, that's just deportation.
Yeah. That's deportation.
No one wants them. No one fucking wants them back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
They go home to their country of origin or they go to Mexico.
I feel so like you're absolutely right. We do not.
You should have been doing it the whole time.
We don't give in to their demands, but yet a civil war is exactly what the Soroses and the fucking.
Oh yeah, like I said, the Civil War was prime time.
The WEF want that's exactly
the
what
Civil War is how Abraham Lincoln forged in stone and codified the federal government that exists today.
I've read some
good thing.
I read some interesting stuff about World War II, not pertaining to the Jews recently.
Wait, there's something that happened in World War II that wasn't the Jews and the Nazis and the bombs.
Yeah, it was Germany and the gays. Just in
Oh,
general,
that
the
probably
gays
wasn't good.
in Germany before World War II is actually what I'm reading about. It's, there's some very striking similarities to the gays in America now.
I mean, before World War II,
The degeneracy in
entirety-
Germany was fucking pretty damn high before
Yeah.
World War II.
not even just the degeneracy. This was prime time, World War II and before it, and that was everywhere. Not just this was something I was listening to an appendix at the end of one of Michael Crichton's books, and that I just finished rereading or re-listening to for the first time in a while, and he has a very distinct, deep conversation about the popularity of the scientific fact at the time in the late 1800s or the mid 1800s through the early 1900s, the very hollowed scientific fact of eugenics and how prolific Germany and the bourgeoisie class in Germany and in America, all of your rich people, all of your sympathetic people who thought it was a very sound and real scientific ideal that held very strictly to it, to the idea of your Rockefellers, your Margaret Sangers, and your people of Germany who actually took lead away from Americans on the ideal of eugenics. And at that time, it was something that was so very widely, thoroughly believed, all degenerates and everything else. And this is probably what came about of some of that. This is what ended up happening to people that were considered sexual degenerates and everything else. Is like Germany was a fucking mess in the early 1900s, a complete and utter fucking mess. On one side, you had what was going on with the communists, the gays, and everything else. You had
one of the photos of
eugenicists on the other.
Stacks of cash.
Yep. But yeah, even here in America, just like global warming is today, eugenics was considered, without a lot of evidence, to be a hard scientific fact, every bit as much as global warming is today. People abided by it. People legitimately sterilized people over it. Margaret Sanger here.
Isn't that where a lot of the Planned Parenthood stuff
the single
came from?
greatest force in genocide and eugenics that ever existed in history and has surpassed anything the Germans did is Planned Parenthood, created by Margaret Sanger for the sheer purpose of removing degenerates and people of low class and of color from society. That is why Planned Parenthood was founded. It is why it still exists today. The communities most affected by what Planned Parenthood does are the same communities that it was intended to hamper when it was first created, when Margaret Sanger first theorized about eugenics. It was the communities that most partake in what Planned Parenthood does today that she was aiming to cure the world of. But yeah, Germany back then was fucked up, dude.
Yep. It was fucking weird. And you know what? Back then, America, all right, I'm going to say it. We made videos about the homosexual lifestyle that painted them in a as a groomer.
Yeah,
they were all groomers back then in America.
Or pedos, yep, for sure.
Like,
those were kind of funny. The characterization of him was like a nice man named Steve likes to meet Jimbo after soccer practice, and he has candy in his car for him. It's like, oh god.
There was like an actual like legit movie. I've seen like an actual like legit movie. It wasn't exactly like that, but it kind of had the dude with the voice, but it wasn't the whole thing. But anyways, yeah, they in America back then, they painted all gay men as groomers.
Yep.
And look where we're at now. They're buying babies.
They're buying babies.
And they're openly, during their parades that aren't being interrupted by pro-Hamas protesters, claiming that they're coming for our children again.
It's about
they really
time.
Continue that theme a lot.
I have some really cringe stuff on that for Thursday.
It's about time they put the LGBT in their place, that they're just an extension of propaganda for the deep state.
Yeah, well, they have.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Palestine comes first. How dare you?
All right, Chuck, do you got any final thoughts?
That one.
No. Good show. Good venting right before the election comes up, man.
You've got plenty of time to do more of that before the election.
I know, but just kind of like getting a feel of what everyone's thinking, because I still think a lot of people are fatigued with the culture news and the political news. It could be less of a turnout than we want it to be. I'm still confused about how Trump's bail and charges and shit is gonna go.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, but if they keep making a martyr out of him, I really think you're going to see a lot of turnout. A lot of people are going to show up for this. This is a big one.
Yep, I've seen that. I've seen that firsthand a lot too.
I think there's one thing that I do really like about D-Day Cobra and how he presents it as the Patriots in the third quarter of the Super Bowl down 3-28.
Yeah, dude. The fucking
this isn't in the bag. This isn't done. You need to keep fighting it all the way through.
Oh no, absolutely.
And you know what? It was the what was it? It was the conviction that for me was like, okay, I'm going to vote for him and not plug my nose. Whereas previously, when they announced the Libertarian presidential nominee, I was going to vote for Trump with my nose plugged. But now it's like, oh, fuck these people.
That's what the Libertarian nominee wants to do.
Yeah. Let's see. Do I have any final thoughts? I just, I think the best thing is really just to live well. Living well is the best revenge. I think being happy, finding ways to be happy, finding ways to do things and not seem like a miserable cunt is really important these days.
Yep.
And I think that's how we win. Having conversations is very key. But also you have to learn when is the right time to have those conversations and who's even worth talking to, because some people are oblivious and
or too far gone.
Yep.
Too far gone, or just, I think there's a lot of people who are never in the game to begin with.
Oh yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that just never had a clue. They don't know. They just don't know. They're just oblivious.
Yep.
And that falls on America. That falls on America and our education system and our lack of mental health, prioritizing any sort of mental health. I think we have everyone says we have a mental health epidemic. No one knows how bad it really fucking is.
I do.
Way worse.
I do.
Anyone realize it is. What's that, Acid?
I know how bad the mental health is. I mean, I do studies on it consistently in school. Yeah, it's you could do a whole study and you're still never going to find the whole truth. But like again, we say it's just band-aids. It's band-aids upon band-aids to, we'll just throw money on them, put them on disability, and we'll give them
or let them live on the street.
Yeah, and then for veterans, it's we got the VA for you, but it's not going to fix anything. But we're gonna give you what we can, which is nothing. And we're going to give you a bunch of medication.
The bare minimum. Trying to do the bare minimum. Acid, anything you want to plug? I don't have any links to your channels.
Basically, I'm just, I work for veterans right now. I work for, and I kind of went back. I'm starting back on the little questionnaire thing I used to do with you and a couple others.
Okay.
But again, my channel on YouTube is trash because the name and all that stuff. I might make something new. I don't know. But again, thanks for having me here because I'm trying to get back into stuff because of what happened back in the past.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Glad to see you back.
Very glad to have you back. Look forward to seeing more of you.
I'm on Twitch still, though. That's one thing.
I have. Shock and I are going to have a very important video game question for you after this.
Oh yeah.
But Helldivers?
No, not Helldivers.
We just blew up a planet, by the way.
So, Professor Savage Dad, I already shared your links to your channel. What do you got going on this week?
Let's see. This week, not a lot. Devil's still on break, so Wednesday is still, just nothing happening there really right now. Friday, I've got the weekly Rogues Gallery over on Iron Oxide's channel. So I'll be over there co-hosting with him. And then let's see, I might do a game stream this weekend. I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to see who I can get together. I'll be hanging out probably Saturday night on Saturday, unless I have something else going on. Sunday night, I'll be doing another episode of Dadcast. I don't know if I'm going to have an interview lined up this week, so it might just be me talking about this week. I plan to talk about, if I don't have an interview going on, positive fathers in media.
Okay, that'd be a cool topic. That would be a pretty neat topic, and I think that would be important to have kind of like a standalone video for.
Yeah, one of these days I need to actually get my standalone video game going, but at least I can start the conversation. I like using live streams to kind of work the thoughts out in my head.
Yeah,
maybe with chat piping in a little bit, and then I can go back, watch it, take my notes, and maybe in a more formal way put together a nice 15-minute video or something.
I've kind of had the same. I've literally thought the same thing. Because I haven't been making many videos, and I've been like, what if I just start recording myself while I gather information and talk to myself and everything like that?
Exactly.
That's yeah. I had that thought just Saturday. Anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you for
thanks for having me.
Having compelling conversations in the other room. I get
You're
annoyed,
welcome.
but it also I see a lot of doom stuff going on. And I get annoyed, but it also gives me a chance to challenge my brain, and so I really appreciate that.
Nah, don't be black-pilled. We're gonna fucking write Trump in the ballot if we have to.
Okay. I will never worry about an election because I've never believed in elections.
Same.
But I'll just do it anyways, right?
Well, worst case scenario, if less people put their faith in government and stop asking for handouts because they see the long-term effects of them, that is my white pill.
So that's an entirely different conversation. The government only matters as long as people believe.
Except for student loan forgiveness. I'm willing to accept that.
Oh, fuck that shit.
I'm willing to accept. I'm willing to accept the student loan forgiveness.
A little bit of loan forgiveness. Come on, bro.
And Shaka Zulu,
you got any of them free student loans?
Let the people know what you got going on.
I got YouTube videos, Shaka Zulu 12, and I stream on Kick. I haven't decided if I want to do a live stream channel or something like that. I'm not sure yet, but Alf got me into that stupid War of Warships game. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I'll try to stream more, and I try to make my last video. Because I usually take for some fucking reason I take 8 hours to make a video because it's a lot of fucking editing.
That's normal.
I edit so much.
That's good.
Fairly normal. I think that's somewhat normal.
I also work 12 hours. That includes commuting an hour and a half. So it's
I spent an entire day, literally 12 hours of a day to make a fucking 3-minute video, dude. So
dude, I proud myself in my latest video. It's 8 minutes long, and I made it in only an hour. And I was like, dude, this is great.
I've done the quick and short stuff. It's the more I look at the video. I'm such a picky bitch.
I need to make more videos. I'm trying to make more funny videos, just making fun of things. I want to have fun and entertain you. That's my goal, and give my opinions. Yeah. Oh, another thing too is I'm enjoying Frieren Beyond Last Journey. That anime is so good. I'm almost done with it. I'm definitely going to review that soon. Nice. And then I'll be on Thursday's show. So that's me, man. Good show, everyone.
And for me, I will be on Paul Hadouken's channel next Wednesday. Well, this Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, to talk about metal albums. We're going to be talking about Gojira, Zayo, Deftones, and Bullet for My Valentine.
Ooh,
Walking the
nice.
fine line on the metal there.
Oh my, yeah, that's good.
But that will be a fun conversation. And then Thursday, back on this channel for the weekend pregame, where we're going to have a lot of gay cringe. Well, we'll have one gay cringe, and then who knows where else we'll go from there.
Hey, I have a name, you know.
You have a what?
I have a name, you know.
Oh, shit. And Kenzo is going to be there.
What?
On Wednesday.
Oh, you mean,
So
Wednesday.
He's going to be doing. Is he bringing an album as well, Paul? I mean, it's only kind of
Oh,
fair.
that's sick. Ooh, can't miss that,
And
man.
then, so that's Thursday, and then probably Ballbusters on Friday for Tard Wrangling,
Nah.
and then Chatterday on Saturday. Maybe I'll get a video. Right now, nothing's really speaking to me.
That's a lot of.
What's that?
That's a lot of shit you're doing like 1 week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're busy.
How the hell are you
man.
trying to do anything else? Holy crap!
So
I don't know.
normally my weeks
They're
are
wild.
busy. One, Saturday Chatter is just hanging out. 2, Ballbusters is temporary until Devil comes back.
That's right. I forgot about
Otherwise, yeah, I wouldn't normally sign up for 3 shows a week. Like
We should if Dermy doesn't behave, we should send him a Sonichu medallion.
Oh my god.
he would want that.
You know he would freak the fuck out.
That's what
He would
I was
freak
asking
out.
somebody this question earlier. If Dermy had a Sonichu medallion arrive at his house, a la Rakeda, does Dermy like freak out and burn it in a fire, or does he take it on and think that he's bigger than the Sonichu?
No, he would freak the fuck out, dude. He'd burn his house.
Hold on.
He would burn his house, bro.
Here, look at this fuck face. Steven here saying, Paul, I will open your eyes to music. Static is gay. Who do you think showed his little brother all the fucking music?
Aw, how cute.
Get out of here with that shit. Anyways, everyone, thank you for watching. We had Paul Hadouken's in the chat. Steve was in the chat. We had Ariel Ballet forking around. Real Wade Gaming. Jack Tarlad was in here earlier. There was a bunch of Kel was in here for a good while. Thanks to everyone who showed up and watched. And until next time.